Good evening, all.
Good evening. Yes, indeed. It is a good evening. It's a good evening because this is Starfleet Boy After Dark minus the Starfleet Boy. So it's just After Dark.
It's just us. He's left the lower decks people manning the ship this evening.
Yes, our fearless leader, Starfleet Boy, is actually having a little bit of a vacay, I guess, in Disney World of all places.
Yeah, he
Isn't
went to.
isn't
Yeah,
that
he went.
far? He went from Miami to Orlando, I guess.
Yeah, but he went to Galaxy's Edge, and I've never been there, and I've heard some great things about that place. So
Yeah, he was sending me pictures earlier. He was on the Millennium Falcon. He was drinking at the cantina. I think he had a little too much to drink, and that's why he's not here. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't need him to do the stinking show, right? We have Marcelo, myself, of course, and then the great PJ
PJ.
Boat Wreck from up in Canada. PJ, how the hell are you?
I am well. Black alert. Black
Oh
alert.
shit! Our spore drive is about to activate.
So PJ, how was your week?
It was fine.
Yeah,
Are you?
PJ is being a computer all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, no. I was
Yes,
gonna.
dear.
I no, I was gonna ask it. I was like, "Are you gonna do the computer voice the whole show? Because if you did, that would be awesome."
He's a
It-
man of 100 voices or 1,000 voices or what? I don't know. I don't know if they've ever actually been counted.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I can't do that, Marcelo.
He's how 9,000 now. Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, gentlemen, what's on y'all's pop cultural radar that you want to talk about tonight? I don't think we have like a
Um.
specific topic.
Yeah, I for reasonings beyond understanding, I for some reason am getting really excited about Black Widow. I don't know why.
I actually just bought my tickets to go see that. It would cost me 50 cents cheaper to stay home and watch it on Disney because I got a ticket for me and for Antonia. But yeah, it was like $30.50, and then I guess like the gas to drive to the theater. But it'll be fun to I guess see a new movie on the big screen. I haven't been to the movies much in over the last year. I guess like the last 14 months or so. So
Rise of
it'll be fun.
Skywalker for me.
No, yeah, that was a hot minute ago.
Yeah,
I will not go and see a movie in the theater until I get my second dose, and I will pay the premium on Disney Plus to watch Black Widow. I want to support the movie, and I don't want to go to a theater yet.
no, I actually would go to a theater, but the problem is that, as probably most of you know who watch Starfleet Boy on a weekly basis and actually pay fucking attention, I'm disabled, and the wheelchair that I have that's just over there is busted, so I can't physically go out to the movie theaters because of that. So I had to pay the premium price on Disney Plus for Black Widow. So that's how I will be watching Scarlett Johansson's last appearance as Natasha Romanoff.
I think it's a reasonable price. It's actually like it comes to like $34 here or something like that.
Yeah, well, y'all's dollars are not worth as much as our dollars. Sorry.
But to go to an IMAX would have been like, I think it's like around 20. I can't remember. I
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
remember our
like for
movies.
me, it was like the same as like two tickets, but I don't get to keep it. I don't get to like watch it again. You know, like you get to keep it forever until it becomes
Yeah,
like
yeah,
free on Disney Plus. As long as you have Disney Plus, you have access to that movie, though.
It
yeah.
would
I
have been
get
really
to.
bad if like you could only rent it for the $30 and it's like 2 days and then you have to wait until August or whatever. Nobody would
Mm,
do it then, but
yeah. Oh, I mean, like when you're watching it, like if you want to like pause it and like walk to the bathroom and take a leak, you know, you have that me, like I can't pause it. I gotta just miss out on a scene or hold it in, you know. So
I I
there's
got
advantages to the Disney Plus option.
yeah, I mean, I didn't go the Raya and the Last Dragon. I thought about it cuz I really like that Disney Pixar slash it. Both it's not exactly a Pixar movie. It's one of those like Disney movies that
Right,
has the
but
really
those are still
has the
good.
really smooth animation. I find
Yeah,
like
like a
it's different from
Moana.
Pixar.
I saw Moana when
Moana,
it came out. That was a really good one.
Raya the Last Dragon is it's okay.
I want to
It's
see it.
fun.
It's actually Ride the Last Dragon is on Disney Plus at the moment. So
Yeah, it was available like
yeah.
last month.
Well, here in the United States, we have a 3-day weekend, so maybe I'll get to watch it with Antonia before we have to go back to work Tuesday. But it looks like the man of the hour himself, the one and only Starfleet Boy, has made it through onto the show. Starfleet Boy, are you there? Can you comprehend us? Oh my God, there he is! I can see his face. He's muted. He doesn't know.
He's muted.
He's so drunk in
This
his
is so drunk
hotel
he doesn't know
room.
it's muted.
He just collapsed. He just passed out from the drinking.
Several murders have happened in that hotel room.
Florida man.
I have
yeah.
Jedi robes. I'm gonna put them on. I'll be back.
Do you have
you
a
go
black
do that.
light? You should use a black light.
He's he has Jedi robes that I assume he paid an overpriced fee for at the Galaxy Edge store. I saw that like on
$350 or something.
Yeah,
on
I
Disney
wonder-
Plus. They have like a little like tour of Galaxy's Edge. It has like I don't like some celebrities. I don't remember. I think like Key and Pill are like one of them, and like I don't know like Kristen Bell maybe like this is like some actors and stuff like going like through like the Galaxy's Edge Star Wars setup they have at Disney. And you see like the whole like Jedi area where you can like construct your own lightsaber, and it all looks like screen accurate, something that could exist in the Star Wars universe. And then you see like a cash register, you know, like you're like little where you go to like check out and pay for everything, little like credit card scanner and shit. It's like that just makes it perfect. That's just like that's like the Disney touch right there. You know, you get all this cool shit. All our Imagineers have constructed this perfect experience, this little trip through your fantasy wonderland. But yeah, of course we're gonna charge you for it.
You know what? To immerse my patrons a little bit more. I would have disguised the cash register. I would have made it look futuristic or something, just to make it not stick out as much.
Can I share a weird fantasy? There's a place called Wonderland, and it has a lot of Paramount stuff in there, like the Wayne's World car and all this like weird stuff. But anyway, I always imagine like someday they might actually build on the ground the Enterprise. And like to scale, like it's an actual building, but it's sitting on the ground that you can walk into and like go deck to deck, like on the elevator or the turbo lift, and actually roam around an entire ship.
Did you know they
I
thought
think that
about
would be
doing that?
the ultimate Trek ride experience, hands down. And they do it
No
with
way.
Star Wars because Star Wars makes all the fucking money. But I just wish one day.
And the Millennium Falcon's a lot smaller than the Enterprise. But they considered that, PJ. I don't know if you've seen like the concept art, but it's like online.
No.
Like they thought about building that in Vegas. It was going to be the Constitution refit from the TOS movies, and we have a Jedi now.
That's cool.
He's muted. I think he probably doesn't realize he's
There he
muted
goes.
again.
He's drunk with the
friends up
Force.
there on the sanctuary moon are walking into a trap. All right, sorry. I have to find a better way to come on, but you guys are doing a great job. Make a show. I love you guys. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, drunk gay
Jedi Master?
Pakistani Florida emperor.
No, I would love to be able to actually go to a place like Galaxy's Edge, but for Star Wars. I mean, I'm sorry for
Star Trek.
For Star Trek.
For
Thank
Star
you.
We
Trek.
used to have that. We used to have the
Experience.
Hilton in Vegas. Yeah, the experience. I'm so heartbroken that I never went there. I was actually just watching YouTube videos of it the other day of like people like filming inside of there in like the last days before it shut down in 08 or 09. And yeah, it is a fucking tragedy that it doesn't exist anymore.
Is that the one where you what's the one where you go in and you play the captain and there's like a Klingon talking to you, and then like they tape it for you so it looks like you're in a sketch?
I think
On
that
a
was like
bridge?
the Universal Studios thing.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of I seen one. I think I seen one on YouTube, and it was pretty funny.
That's older.
Is that the?
It was like
is that
the family obviously can't act; they're just saying the lines, and it looks
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
is that the?
gold.
Is that the one with the when William Riker starts talking to you?
Yes, yeah. So the thing at the Hilton, when you come on board, they actually take you onto the Enterprise D from the Next Generation, and like Riker comes on the view screen, and he's like, "Oh my God, we beamed some of you people from 20th century Earth." And one of you is actually Captain Picard's ancestor, so it's critical that we return you. But like some rogue Klingons are attacking us right now, and you walk across like the bridge of the Enterprise. You go down like corridors and shit, and
Wow.
eventually like you get into the shuttle bay and like get on the shuttle. It's really cool, and then
I
it
would-
takes you to the promenade. Like they did like a reconstruction of like the promenade from DS9. There's like souvenir shops. You can go to like Quarks and like get some bar food and some drinks, and go somewhere else and like buy like some Star Trek souvenirs. So yeah, they went all out on that shit.
That's amazing.
I'm gonna see if Starfleet Boy will let me share this video of it. I have it up, but I don't think he's aware of it. Oh,
Yeah,
there it is.
he might-
Okay, I'll play
Mm.
it. The volume's up all the way. It might be low though.
Jonathan Archer's dog. Was it A, Horatio,
The hell is
B,
this?
Molly, or C, Porthos?
Porthos.
Porthos.
The answer is C, Porthos.
What do we win?
Captain Archer often fed him cheese.
Oh.
What the hell?
That's already
I've never
a,
seen
a
it.
Incoming
that's already a
subspace
better.
signal.
What does the T in James T. Kirk stand
Tiberius.
Tiberius.
for? Thomas, B. Terrible, or C.
Terrible.
Tiberius?
Gee,
See.
it's B. Terrible.
The answer is C. Tiberius. Kirk was the only Starfleet cadet to ever beat the
Kobayashi
Kobayashi Maru simulation program.
He cheated.
Incoming subspace signal.
What is the color of Vulcan blood?
Green.
Green.
A, blue, or B, green, or C, yellow? The answer is B, green.
Cool.
Weak level
Mr.
shit.
Spock is only half Vulcan. His mother was human.
Human. Quack.
Oh yeah. This is the experience at the Hilton.
Space. The
Oh,
final
this might be
frontier.
this might be
These are the
copyrightable.
voyages of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Its continuing
So-
mission.
I'll just turn that down. And wait.
That looks so cool. I wish I would have been able to go, but I was just a kid.
Dun, 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 dun.
If they had just
Okay, I
kept
don't
it
know- I don't
around
know
a
if this
few
is,
years,
Maybe I'll speed it up a bit. Come on, you son of a gun.
okay, put it in warp drive, PJ. Engage. So this footage was put together
Okay, it's
in like '97.
Yeah, right, because the Star Trek experience launched in what,
I'm
90,
fooling the
94?
algorithm with the mouse.
I think they started building it in '96, but I don't think they had it fully opened until '98. I think. I don't know. I remember seeing ads for it.
No, I saw ads for it on the Next Generation DVD.
Well, some
I mean,
of the
no,
VHS tape.
The
Some of
VHS, I'm sorry.
tape. Yeah, for like
Totally-
first contact and shit. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm totally drunk right now.
You
I
should
keep
not board if you
screwing
are
up.
pregnant, have a heart condition, or suffer from back or neck trouble. You must be at least 42 inches.
You must be at least 42 inches.
well, goddamn, I only got 4 inches. They ain't gonna let me onto that.
Make room for the people behind you. Show any personal items in front of you. Please fasten your seatbelt.
Oh, I get it.
If you are traveling with children,
Took me a second. What the hell is going on? It's tripping me out.
securing the child's seatbelt, secure your own.
What the hell?
It's crazy.
Are they going through a
So
wormhole
weird.
or something? What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Oh, this is
then
cool.
like this woman takes you down this. Imagine going down this corridor. How fucking cool would that be? Just walking down this hallway from the next generation.
Yeah, that'll be bitching.
She takes you
I'd
onto
lo-
the bridge. Look at
Oh,
this.
Oh
look
my
at that!
god,
That's
that's awesome.
You're at like
I've never
Worf
seen this.
Station. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Holy
the
shit.
view
Have you been here,
screen?
Father? This place?
No, I never went, and I hate it that
Oh
I didn't
my
go.
god!
I hate myself so much for not making it happen.
That looks beautiful. Who do you think built all
Beautiful.
this?
I would probably burst into tears if I was like if I went through that. That's how like into it I would be.
Right. No.
Now what's going on here?
Yeah, I remember. I've had.
Oh, this is the
several-
Commander Riker stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what you were talking about, Steve.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, like, hey, we beamed y'all up from the past. One of y'all just so happens to be Picard's ancestor. It's like really imperative we send y'all back to your time period before these Klingons blow up our ship. Yeah, here come the Klingons. Like they're really pissed.
Korath has located a temporal rift in the space-time continuum and found a way to transport you through it.
Fortunately, Starfleet intelligence got wind of what he was doing. We managed to intercept you while mid-transport and beam you here.
Korath has nothing against any of you. The man he's after is Jean-Luc Picard, the captain of this.
Do you remember when Worf was on Webster?
He was sitting in that center chair. But the instant you
Webster had a dream he was on the bridge of the
Yeah, I
Enterprise
saw
D.
a clip of that. I've never seen the actual episode.
It looked as if one of you must be that ancestor. In order to restore the timeline and get Captain Picard back, we have to
Wow.
get you back where you belong.
Restore the timeline, the plot of Picard Season 2.
These Klingons.
Oh my god, it's
point in running Enterprise.
Is that
Give
him?
me Picard's ancestor,
No, never mind.
and the others
It's another
can
guy.
return to the past.
Thought it was Martok.
These people are under my protection.
No, it's not. It's not J.G. Hertzler.
You will regret
Yeah,
defying me.
it's so blurry. I was like, what? No, that's not
We're
him.
going to try to lose the Klingons in a nearby nebula. We'll put you aboard a transport shuttle and take you.
I
back
like
to
how
the
it's
temporal
filmed
rift.
in like a movie like widescreen. You never saw that in the actual
Oh yeah,
television show.
yeah. They always had 4x3.
Yeah, this is like the one and only time you would see like movie quality imagery from the show era.
We're going to take this turbo lift down to the shuttle bay. Follow me.
Yeah, and then she she takes you. She takes
It's like
you
they're
to
all
the
time
shuttle.
travelers. They were all unfrozen. in the
That is so
90s.
cool.
Sorry, what were you gonna say? She takes you to where?
She takes you to the shuttle bay, and you get on a shuttlecraft.
Oh, that's
You have to ride like it's like a supersized turbo lift to fit all these people in.
All the way inside.
I was just gonna say that. That's like a really big turbo lift.
Wow, some drama going on there. That's cool.
And they hired all these actors that look really good in the Starfleet uniforms.
Starfleet Boy says, "What is this? This is the Hilton Star Trek experience."
Yeah. Rest in peace. Discontinued over a decade ago.
Do you guys ever think that Star Trek will ever get this big again to the point that we might have our own theme park one day?
I don't know if it'll be an entire theme park, but there will be things like this again soon. I think they're already trying to develop shit like this. Like there's been talk about like doing like set tours up in Toronto where they're shooting Discovery, and yeah, I think it's very likely.
Yeah, like if I could go to Toronto and walk on the Bridge of the Discovery, I think I would cry because I love that show. So
This is crazy. Like the CG demonstrations. I've never seen this. This is nuts.
Or someone who needs help. Make sure to fasten
Like the Starfleet version of the safety film, right?
Yeah.
that's not Roxana Troy, is it? No.
If you're prone to motion sickness,
Nah, it's someone else's voice.
notify a shuttle.
Sounds like her a little bit.
If you're pregnant, suffer from a heart condition,
But just so everybody knows, this is at like
you should not
a
board the
little bit
transport.
faster speed. I don't know exactly what, but just to get through it a bit faster, because it's an interesting watch. I've never seen this. Now this shuttle thing does it.
Yeah,
shake?
so yeah, it's like a flight simulator type thing.
That's so cool. Oh man, I would have loved this.
Where was
I,
I?
I have no interest in theme parks and stuff at all, or
my
rides.
God,
I'm
look at
like,
that.
don't care. But this
Oh.
stuff would fucking blow my mind.
I would have loved this. Where the hell was I? Shit.
And, like, you get to see
Prepare
the
for ramming
Enterprise.
speed.
You see the Enterprise shooting at those birds of prey. Wow. You're like flying under the saucer and around the nacelles and shit.
And the Klingons are like, we are cloaking. Our shields are down.
That was
Fire.
Brian Thompson who played that Klingon.
He's a great actor from X-Files as well.
Yeah.
He
was a
he's one of the best
Romulan on
looking
Enterprise.
Klingons. Yes, yep.
He was the Jimador, that episode we talked about earlier on my show.
Yep. He's
very,
one of the
very
best.
good character actor.
Yep. He's so underrated though. Like,
oh, he's in that shitty Mortal Kombat. He's in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He played
he's
for Shao Kahn.
Funny enough, he's one of the reasons I walked out on that movie so early, because I found his character so cartoonish. And when he meets his father or something, in that scene,
yeah.
like not even 5 minutes into the movie, I was gone.
Yeah, they said. Yeah, Ruben. He is on Buffy. Yeah, he was that first vampire in the first 2 episodes, and then in season 2 of Buffy, he plays the judge.
This is a crazy experience.
This is amazing.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna slow it down because I want to like absorb this.
Speed up a little. Slow down.
Yeah, and then so this is like your introduction into the experience at the Hilton. So this is kind of like when you first arrive there. They take you through all of this stuff, and then when you're done with this, see, okay, like now you're in modern day Vegas. See, like the shuttle arrives in like modern day. And so then, like, when it finally crashes into the Hilton or docks there, or whatever it does, and you're able to disembark, you get to explore like their cool little promenade location.
That's cool.
I'm assuming that'll be in the video.
I can't find a way to not make this choppy, so let me just fix something here. I think this will help. And it's not helping. Never mind.
Yeah, but we get the we get the idea.
Though. The visual effects appear to be like pretty decent.
For the time, right?
What year? I don't know what years. What year was that out?
I think this thing opened in '98.
Oh, so. Oh, I thought it was like maybe '93 or something, because Riker and the guys in the uniforms.
TNG was already off the air when they did that. I think.
Oh, okay.
I guessed 94, but I probably was way off.
Oh, there's Deep Space Nine. Could disrupt the future once again. Do they go on the promenade or anything? Is there a promenade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you walk through this part, it has like a bunch of props and stuff from the different TV shows are all on display. And then listen to that, it's playing the DS9 theme song.
Oh my god. That's so awesome.
No, then they have like a Quarks bar set up where you can go there and like buy like real food, real alcohol. Yeah.
Cool.
No, it's a fucking tragedy that they don't have it anymore. The thing is, if they just kept it around a few more years, Star Trek would have gotten like really popular again. Like now, I think there's definitely like an appetite for something like that now. You know, like they're doing like all these conventions. They're doing the new like Mission Chicago, and then like that new set of conventions that they're going to do based on that. They're doing Star Trek Las Vegas still. They're doing the Star Trek cruise that they do. That other like Star Trek mission thing up in the New York, New Jersey area. Like there's so much going on right now. They're greenlighting all these shows. They got new movies they're trying to develop. Like they totally, the people in charge at Viacom CBS, they totally would want to do something big like this.
A Comic-Con in New Jersey and New York? I've never I didn't hear about that. Huh. That's in my neck of the woods. I could probably go to that.
Yeah, they do like They do like a tour on like one of like the Navy ships up there.
Oh, okay.
They have like a yearly convention.
Alright.
Creation is involved with that, but that's like I think it's called Mission New York.
Uh-huh.
Creation puts that on.
But weren't you gonna go like to the last like Star Trek in Las Vegas and
Cruise.
oh my god, yeah, no, not the cruise. You were gonna go to like the last like Star Trek something the last time I.
Well, yeah, because CBS isn't involved with like the Star Trek Las Vegas con anymore, but Creation is still doing it. But they're doing the one this year is gonna be like kind of like the last one at the Rio. That'll be like the way that they've ever since like the Hilton shut down the Experience back in 2009. They've been doing them at the Rio, and this will be like kind of like the last one like that. And then next year, I think they're doing it at something else that's owned by I might be wrong, but I think something else owned by Caesar's Palace, but not the main Caesar's Palace. And then the year after that, the Rio is going to be owned by the Hyatt, and it's going to be a totally like completely renovated new building, and they're going to return there. But it might not be strictly Star Trek. It might be like a sci-fi convention with other stuff too. But there will be something.
Oh, cool.
It just won't be. This is the last year. It's going to be like normal,
Star Trek
like how they've been
exclusively?
doing it. Yeah, well, it might stay Star Trek exclusive, but the building's definitely going to change. So,
Oh, okay, cool.
Has anybody
we'll
seen
see.
Loki?
I'm behind. I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm behind as well. I actually tried to like binge all the episodes that came out today, but I just couldn't do it. I was too busy editing an interview that I recorded yesterday. It took me like 5 hours to get it to where I wanted it. So I finished it. I posted it. It's all well and good, but it took me a while.
Well, you have 3 and 4 to watch, so that's a good combination because 3 alone isn't so great. But if you could watch 3 and then 4 right
And then
after,
4.
it's very very satisfying.
All right. I'm going to pull a Sohel. I'm going to tell you how to make it show because I have to go hit the head. But I will return quickly.
Okay.
Did he
So,
say he was
PJ
going to bash somebody's head in? What?
No, he said that he was gonna hit the head like a navy man.
Oh, La Toilette. Okay.
Yeah. So
All right,
how?
well, while he's doing his business, let's make fun of him. No, I'm joking.
No, let's not do that. So how was your week? What did you do anything fun?
Not really.
No,
I watched a movie called Censor.
A Censor. I've never heard of that movie.
It's about a woman. It's a British horror film. It's about a woman who lost her sister when she was very young in the woods somehow. You don't really know. And she's kind of like blocked it out mentally. And she's a censor for video nasties at the time. It's the 80s, right? So she has to spend her time watching the most horrific like stuff because you know about the video nasties back in the day. They were like really excessive horror films, and you see some clips and stuff, and she has to watch all this stuff so she can tell the filmmakers what stuff to cut for it to get like an 18 or a 15. And that's what the ratings in Britain at the time or whatever. But it's really about her descent into madness, and I won't give away why, but everything having to do from her job to her past trauma like disintegrates her mentally, and it leads to a conclusion that could be divisive, I suppose. I didn't know how to feel about it while I was watching it. I quite honestly, I was like, I don't know if this is a bad movie or not. But afterwards, I was like thinking about it a lot, and I was like, man, this kind of want to go back and watch it again.
I think those are the best kind of movies. The movies that leave you, and hours later or days later, you're still thinking about it. When you first mentioned the title, it didn't register with me. But as you started talking about it, I believe that Chris Stuckman reviewed it on his YouTube channel like a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, probably. Well, yeah, he would have. He reviews all the like.
Yeah, he's a
horror fan.
Yeah, he's a huge horror fan. So
Have you ever seen a show called Raised by Wolves? It's on
I've
HBO
yeah
Max. It's about
yeah
androids raising human children.
yeah. I saw trailers for that, but I haven't seen it unfortunately.
Neum
Um,
Algar is in that show with Travis Fimmel, but she's the star of the show, this movie called Censor.
Interesting. No, but I I mean to actually watch a lot of stuff, but I just get too fucking busy with what I'm doing, and but by the time I uh figure out what the hell to watch, I probably don't end up watching half of the shit that I say I'm gonna watch.
That's right, Ruben. Red Letter Media did cover it. I watched their review of it afterwards. Also, I watched The Tomorrow War last night.
Oh, was that any good?
It's okay. It definitely gets to a point where it becomes fun to watch, but it takes a while to get there.
It's entertaining, or would you say
It takes a while to get fun. I mean,
Okay.
it seemed like the story is weird and not. It's one of these time travel things where, like, the second you start thinking about it, certain things just don't add up. It's like how okay, if these people are going back and forth in time, why is there no changes in the timeline? Like, it's weird. It's like this thing. It's a huge element of time travel logic that they completely gloss over or just actually ignore. And there's a weird way they transport them back and forth that doesn't really jive. I can't say much, but I don't want to spoil anything. But it gets to a point where about halfway through the movie, it starts actually becoming really fun to watch. And you're like, wow, finally, it's actually getting good. And J.K. Simmons is in it as Chris Pratt's father, and he is like he's like a bodybuilder. Remember when he got Jack to play Gordon, and then you saw nothing, he just had a jacket? He's still doing that stuff because in this movie with Chris Pratt, he's constantly has his arms exposed, and he's like old as hell, and he's actually, somebody calls him like Muscle Santa Claus or something like that at one point. And give it up for him, man. He's like more jacked than fucking Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Have you seen are you interested in the Tomorrow War, Fathery? With Chris Pratt?
He's miming no.
He has no idea what that is. He's not.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
No.
But you're more than welcome to tell me, unless you just
like,
explained it. The audience probably doesn't want to hear it again.
No, I just
go ahead, PJ.
I didn't say that it's a big budget Paramount movie that was initially going to be in theaters, and then Amazon was like, "We'll just buy it off you and call it an Amazon original." And
hey, what was that Marky Mark movie? I don't know if y'all have it, but here in the States they put it on Paramount Plus. Infinites?
Yes, Infinite. I
didn't watch it because everyone told me it was fucking terrible.
No, and the thing is, I have Paramount Plus just like you, and I didn't even bother with it.
I would have watched it because I was like, okay, this is like a new movie, probably like good production value, only like 2 hours, not a huge commitment. I can make time for this. I want to support Paramount Plus. It's the home of Star Trek now. And then literally everyone said like, oh no, like that fucking 9% it has on Rotten Tomatoes is too high. It's actually a terrible, terrible, terrible movie.
No, I mean my grandfather, who we mentioned earlier in this podcast, saw it.
I think it was before we were live. It might have just been you and me talking.
Yeah. Okay. So we were talking off of the air before we went live, and I'll just bring this back around. My grandfather saw it, and he seemed to enjoy it, and he's a huge Marky Mark fan. So I don't know if he saw the film with Marky Mark tinted glasses, but he seemed to enjoy it.
That's the first positive reaction I've heard. It won't hurt to try it, I guess.
I guess. Oh,
but you have not seen it, Marcelo. You yourself have not watched it yet, right?
No, I have not. No, I have not. But actually, the one movie that I'm really interested in seeing, I've gotten my hopes kind of dashed from Geek and Review and PJ. I really wanted to see the Tomorrow War, but Geek and Review posted a tweet along with his video review of it, and he said that he didn't really enjoy it that much. So that kind of doused my enthusiasm for it, and then PJ just added on to it. But
PJ, you too were not a fan of Tomorrow Wars.
Yeah, no, but I think that even with the negative feedback, I think I'm going to go in and watch it.
I'm in the background. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Even with the negative feedback that I've seen from it, I think I'm going to go in and I'm going to watch it tomorrow just for shits and giggles. And I hope I have a good time with it. I might be pleasantly surprised by it. Who knows?
Well, what's the premise of the movie? Do you know? Like, because I've never heard of this.
No, well. The premise of the movie is that this organization from the future comes to the past to recruit civilians to make them soldiers to fight in a war that won't happen for like 1,000 years, if I'm not mistaken. I could be completely wrong on that, but I think that sums it up as well as I can do it. When PJ comes back, he'll probably do a much better job than I just did, but that's pretty much it.
Okay. I just want to take a moment to read some of the comments. I know Sohel likes it when we read comments.
Yeah,
Ruben, our good friend Ruben, he stated earlier, I was talking about Brian Thompson. We've moved on past that, but you talk about Kindred. Yeah, remember that show Kindred? It was on Fox. There was Kindred and then Prophet. I think they came on Tuesday nights. This is like 1994, before some of y'all's time. But Sohel says that the Rise of the Resistance, I think that's an attraction at Galaxy's Edge. Rise of the Resistance was amazing because he got shot at by some First Order stormtroopers. Red Letter Media covered Censor 2. That was the movie PJ had mentioned. So check that out if you want coverage of that film. Parentheses Eyes. Hey, PE. Glad that you're with us tonight. He said, I also attempted to watch Infinites, and I also gave up on it. So yeah, that's another negative review. Ruben says, having Chris Pratt immediately makes it a 95% chance I won't watch it. So we have a Chris Pratt hater on deck. That's fine, I guess. I mean, like, I don't know. It doesn't bother me, but I don't know.
I like Chris Pratt. I mean, he's cool.
It's 28 years in the future.
Yeah,
so PJ, they keep saying 30 in the movie, but it's actually 28. Yeah. And what happens is,
thank you.
They can only go back, like both timelines move in sync. So like, if you go to the future and you're there for 2 days, when you come back, it's 2 days later in the past.
Ooh.
And they're getting closer and closer to Armageddon with these aliens and stuff. And it becomes more and more desperate and yada yada yada. But I don't know, it's fun at the end.
Interesting. So, would you say that like it's a fun B movie, or like a fun B action movie at some point?
It is definitely. It's one of these big budget B action movies for sure. It's got that vibe. Like,
okay, so I'll enjoy it then.
It's got elements of Starship Troopers meets the Gormagander meets the.
So there's monsters in it.
But
the aliens?
Not the Gormagander. The one from Stranger Things.
I only saw the first season of Stranger Things.
Shit, what's that thing called?
Someone will tell us.
I don't know what it's called.
So he'll in his drunken state, he probably knows.
How have you only seen one season of Stranger Things?
Because it felt really derivative of a bunch of movies and things I'd already seen before.
Okay.
Demogorgon,
yeah.
And it also has elements of.
I'll watch Stranger Things when it finishes. I'll watch the whole thing.
Okay.
And if you've ever seen A Quiet Place, it also reminiscent of those aliens.
That's
they're
good.
Always the same type of aliens now, where they're all weirdly shaped and they got like weird heads and like a bunch of weird limbs and stuff. It's always the kind of the same thing.
Can I say something about A Quiet Place Part 2?
Sure.
Oh, it's so good.
There's one thing I didn't like about it. and that's I don't want to spoil the movie because I know it's very new and a lot of people haven't seen it yet. But I think most people know like it's a sequel, but it does have like some flashbacks to like how this kind of apocalyptic event happened. You know, we see like the normal world first start to transition into the chaos of this monster invasion it shows what appears to look like asteroids or maybe they're big spaceships like coming into the atmosphere. And I kind of wish it hadn't have done that one thing. As much as I really enjoy those movies because it ruined some of the mystery of the creatures. I didn't want like a confirmation that they came from another planet. I thought maybe they could be like subterranean or like from another dimension or like I don't know, maybe even like something like supernatural monsters or something. Like I kind of liked it just being like a totally unknown thing. But I guess a lot of people were probably like, no, I kind of want to know where they came from. So I get that. I get like scratching that itch. Just for me personally, I would have preferred it be a little bit more mysterious. But I think I'm the odd man out. Everyone else I talked to is like, no, you're an idiot, Father. They were obviously always aliens from the very beginning. So I guess I'm wrong.
Or maybe they could have been like, aliens that were frozen in ice for years and years, and because of global warming, they thawed out and started like running amok.
Because to me, I think that makes it like a little bit more interesting. You know, if like the world got taken over by these monsters. Like if that actually happened, like society totally collapsed. We lose the internet, news, media, communication, everything, and there's monsters running around, and we don't know where the fuck did these things come from. To me, I think that's like a little bit more of a cool, scary movie idea. If it has like just that little bit of mystery to it, but it doesn't hurt anything. I still love the movies.
The acknowledgement of things flying around in the sky that the military is like confirmed, and they did reports saying they can't rule out other they have a category of other that if they can't explain the UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UFO, then if it's not like foreign tech, if it's not this, if it's not that, they put it in a category of other. That basically means they can't rule out that it's from somewhere else. And that's messed up. And you get these fighter pilots now they're not being demonized anymore. They're just like, yeah, we see this stuff every day. Every day. It's like, what are like these things that almost seem to be illusions? Like they move in a way where they're moving so fast, but they're not breaking the sound barrier and stuff like this. I don't know.
Totally unexplainable according to the experts that are speaking about it now. Darren Laston, PhD, is with us. Darren, are you a new viewer to Starfleet Boy After Dark? Or I haven't been on the last couple of weeks, so I don't know if you've been around before, but welcome tonight. Happy to have you here. I don't know if you saw, but Starfleet Boy, our leader, is incapacitated at the moment. He has been visiting Disney World and celebrating his visit to a galaxy far, far away at Galaxy's Edge. So just the three of us.
He's had a galaxy far, far away.
Oh yeah. You better believe it. He's been at that cantina. I saw like a tiki cup with like Ewoks on it that he showed me a picture. I was like, "What are you drinking out of that tiki cup?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you don't want to know." So
he's going to be throwing up like some kind of green liquid later.
Yeah, he's had a little bit too much alcoholic blue something.
Yeah,
he's going to cut in now and tell us
that
to
blue
shut
milk.
up talking about it.
But the
I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think of our government acknowledging the possibility of extraterrestrial life? Do you guys think that's just an awesome thing for the American government to do, or do you think that's a little insane?
Well, I'm from Canada. Eh?
I know you're from
We
Canada.
always knew about them aliens.
Yeah, I'm just.
We always believed, eh? We
Okay,
thought Alf was a documentary.
They did shoot the X-Files in Canada. So
Can I just say something
keep
about
that in
that?
mind.
Can I just say something about that? I used to make fun of my friends about how, like, in X-Files, you'd have these guys, like, ancillary characters always talk, and they sound so Canadian. Like, they don't even attempt to sound American. And one guy literally goes up, he's like, "Hello, Mulder." Like, Mulder, like that. And I'm like, dude, You're not unless you're from like that Fargo place. It doesn't,
In North
everybody
Dakota?
sounds so Canadian in that show. But then,
Yeah.
as after the movie, they moved to Los Angeles, and it looks and feels completely different.
Didn't
Like the
didn't
actors,
they
everybody sounds American all of a sudden, and there's sunshine everywhere, as opposed to like
Yeah, it's not like
in
a gray
Canada where it
sky
looked dark and
constantly.
yeah, it
There's
was such a
always a
great
gray sky
location.
and a little drizzle of rain.
Yeah,
Um,
didn't they shoot like the first 5 years in Canada and then they moved
Yes,
over to yeah?
they did the movie, and then in season 6 they started
yeah,
Los
in
Angeles.
1998, they from 98 until 2002, I guess, when the show ended, they were in Cali. Um,
Mm.
the cool thing though is that a lot of shows are shot in Canada and have those Canadian Day actors. Like everything, all of the Arrowverse, all those shows are out of Vancouver, and it's kind of annoying to me because I've only visited Vancouver one time, and I love it. I love that city. I want to move there actually. The Canadians won't let me move to their country, but it's so distracting because I recognize so many of those buildings just from spending a week there. It'll have like crossovers between Flash and Arrow, where like you see Barry Allen is in Central City and he's standing next to like Canada Place, and then he runs to Star City, where the Green Arrow lives, supposed to be like a totally different city. And you see like
Stops
the
by Tim
same,
Hortons.
yeah, you see like the same building, but like from a different angle. You're like, wait a minute, like you didn't even go anywhere. Like there's like that Olympic cauldron thing that they have over there. It's like, oh, he's like off on like the beach now, like off, where he's about to like take like a ferry to Victoria. It's like they're not even leaving Vancouver. What the hell is this? It's kind of annoying. Parentheses
There's
eyes.
like Mounties and moose walking around in the background.
Mounties and moose.
Parenthesis eyes says, I can't wait for the day for the government to announce the existence of intelligence extraterrestrial life. Yeah, I think that's going to be like a hard thing for them to confirm, but
They can't confirm it. I believe it's one of these things. You ever heard of above top secret? I forget. Is that, I don't know if that's the actual name, but it's like the kind of top secret that even the president apparently doesn't know.
Yeah, I almost made an inappropriate joke that I don't even know would be relevant now because it had to do with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, but I'm just going to ignore that and just
just blow that off, man.
I would just do
yeah,
it.
we'll just PJ. I know you're more of a UFO type dude. Like I don't know what to do with this information, to be honest. Like I don't know. Like I don't have any strong opinions on it one way or the other. But PJ,
I can put on
you
my
should tell
tinfoil
us.
hat if you want.
Put on whatever hat you want, but just tell us your thoughts on what you would like to see happen or what you think is going on. Whatever you got on it, just inform us.
Well, call me crazy, and you will after I say this. I believe there is a galactic federation of extraterrestrials throughout the galaxy. Only the ones that are very advanced. Maybe some can't travel as far, so maybe there's like little sections, but there is communication between these races. And Earth has been of interest ever since the dawn of man, but of particular interest after we invented the atom bomb. Foo Fighters. What were Foo Fighters? They were unidentified flying objects that would engage in the fights, and nobody knew what they were. A lot of people assumed it was like technology from the other side, but nobody really knew what they were. So like Foo Fighters, the band named themselves after them. That was an interesting thing, and it's kind of like there's all this stuff about like, did the Nazis like have an interest in this? Did they obtain technology? Did the U.S. government obtain like a downed ship? The Roswell incident, what's up with that? There was a documentary I was shown as a kid, and I couldn't believe they showed that. We went to a Catholic school, right? And they're showing this Roswell documentary, and they're interviewing the actual people who the pilot came back with the memory metal. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's this metal that it's malleable, but it goes back to its original form, like memory foam, but metal, right? And this woman, real woman in this documentary, was talking about how a U.S. soldier came to the door and asked her about this stuff, and he had a baton in his hand. He was smacking in his hand with the baton, and he was telling her, you don't see any of this. You don't know anything about, like, he was basically telling her, like, in so many words, keep your mouth shut, and being very intimidating. And as she was telling this story, her voice was quivering and, like, she's getting very emotional telling the story. I'm like, this doesn't seem phony, like, in any way. Like, you know what I mean? It seems like these people are telling the truth. And I do actually really believe that something happened there. And there was that, like, footage of the alien autopsy, which, if fake, is, like, absolutely fucking brilliant. Like, it's scary brilliant. It's, like, stuff they couldn't even do in movies. How realistic that body looks, and especially when they take out the black contacts and the eyes are rolled back, and like when they cut the body open, like how, like, the blood drizzles down. Like, it's such attention to detail if that was an actual fake. And I know a lot of people believe it's a fake, but I mean,
I thought that was confirmed.
I saw the movie about the guys who. Yeah, I know, but I saw the stuff about the guys who did it, and I'm like, no, God. And there's a movie made about it, and it's like, it's so stupid. It's weird. It's Jonathan Frakes brought it to my attention actually back in the day with Fact or Fiction, Beyond Belief, I think it was.
Yeah,
and he's like,
they're
"You're
bringing
about to
that back.
see
I
this."
think I saw like a
Yep,
picture
they
of
are.
him on the set.
Is he gonna host it again, or is like that gonna be like Dean Cain? Or no, I think Dean Cain did Ripley's Believe It or Not that one.
But do you know that alien autopsy body stuff? There was more
1994,
to-
right? That came out in 94.
I think so.
I remember seeing
Alien
it on
autopsy
TV.
it was a big special.
Yeah, it
But
freaked me
there's-
out as a kid.
There's other stuff. It's a very washed out, like 20 seconds maybe, that I've found on YouTube like a couple of times over the years, but I don't know if you can still find it. Sometimes you can't, but it's soldiers in like an air hangar or something, and they're all surrounding the body of the alien that is eventually on the table that they operate on. And then there's another one where it's just the camera panning across all this like weird metal with like weird alien symbols on it, and I'm like, seems very clever for something that would have been faked. Like, it's very convincing. And like, I wouldn't doubt it was faked, and it was brilliant. But if it's not, it lends itself to my more like, you know, out there instincts of like, I believe this shit. Like,
You're like Mulder.
I believe there's
You wanna believe.
I believe there's a secret history here. I'm like fucking Mulder with the poster on the wall, right? You know what I mean?
I want to believe.
I was under the assumption that the autopsy was at one point they proved it to be fake, but I don't know the details on that. So I
followed it for like, not even joking, 10 years or something like that. And they did the first one, which a lot of people kind of like said, they had Stan Winston on there, I think, or some special. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah, special
and
effects.
He was like, he's like, if this is faked, he's like, these are masters. Why weren't they working in Hollywood and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. And they tested the film and the age of the film and whatnot, and they looked at the props and stuff, and the way it's cut, it's cut like real time, like the way they would film it. They have so much film in the thing, right? So they would have to like literally edit it while they were filming it, so the cut out, and then he'd turn the camera back on at some point later, so you don't see the whole thing through. So that makes people doubt it, that there are cuts and stuff like that. But I mean, it's so good.
Is this like one movie or like several movies or like?
It's the alien autopsy itself, uncensored. Sometimes they blur out the vagina on the alien.
Why would they do, like?
I don't know.
Marcelo's mad he can't see the vagina on the alien. Ruben says it was debunked though 1,000,000 times over.
Yes,
so.
It was debunked, debunked. I've heard many different people go back and forth over the years. And
did the aliens have two genders, or wait, how many genders? Did the alien have more than one gender? Like
I don't
we
know.
do?
Who knows?
Yeah, he's
Welcome
quoting.
back,
he's,
Captain.
he's quoting Mars Attacks.
Yes.
Some Burton movie.
Do the Martians have two sexes? Like, how'd you know that I was quoting Mars Attacks?
You know what's funny is like
I
that
hate that
joke.
movie.
That joke from that movie. It was like funny at the time, and then there was a time where it's like, oh, like that's kind of like inappropriate. Like that's not
It's
PC to do that.
It's no
But
longer funny.
But then I think like now that like we've adopted like the non-binary community back into like incorporating that into society. I think now like that joke kind of
It's
might
funny again.
well, I don't know because yeah, I guess it still doesn't work, but it's kind of more thought provoking now. But the movie's cool because you get to see Jack Black as a soldier, and you get to see Tommy Lee Jones, or no, Tom Jones. Excuse me.
Can I read
Jack
Ruben's
Nicholson as
next?
president.
Can I read Ruben's next comment in his cadence? Yeah. It was debunked in real time. Essentially, it was a buzz story for a couple of weeks in Entertainment Tonight. Next one. They blurred out the vagina because it's fake. LOL. he's the Dana Scully to my Mulder.
Wait,
oh my god! I want to see
like
that show. No. Hold on. We'll talk about like the Ewok Cup in a moment, but
Okay.
I need to see the show of PJ and Ruben traveling the country, investigating alien shit. That would be the best fucking show ever.
And I'd be like, Ruben, I saw it with my own eyes. And he's like, fuck you, you're full of shit.
Look, this depicts the Battle of Endor on a tiki mug.
I see that.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I would buy that for more than $1.
It costs a lot of money. Too bad.
I'm gonna guess that cost $60.
No, it wasn't that much. And look, I got these pins.
I overestimated.
And then I got these pins.
Did you get a lightsaber?
And this pin. No, I didn't get a lightsaber because they were too thick. All right, I have to go.
What were you gonna do with it?
I was just gonna say that.
Pluto was in the
you ran away
background.
now. Come on.
Good lord. Okay. Well, we had like a little cameo from Starfleet Boy. If some of y'all are just now joining us, he's out of commission for the moment. He's on a return trip, I guess at this point, from a galaxy far, far away. So he might cut in and out through our subspace transmissions that we're broadcasting with.
Yeah.
But,
do you remember the
yeah.
Jesse Ventura show, Conspiracy Theory or something? I think it was called.
Where him and Alex Jones would like go like spy on army bases and stuff.
It's like, what's going on in Area 51? It's like,
yeah, he's like, who do I need to body slam to get some answers? I don't drink the water with fluoride in it, so I know.
I don't got time to bleed.
You do a better Ventura than I do. But Jesse Ventura, he's a class act. Oh, Pastel Pirate is joining. That's nice.
Pastel Pirate.
Yeah, Ruben and PJ, y'all come at the conspiracy stuff from two very different angles.
I started watching Hunters with Al Pacino about Jewish Nazi hunters in the 70s. And the first episode, the guys are coming out of Star Wars and talking about like Darth Vader and stuff. I'm like, it's 70s stuff. But man, it's like a crazy show.
Did
it's
you like
violent and dark and just fucking. It's a weird mix of humor too. It's strange.
I thought I watched the first season. It was great. I liked it. I loved it. It was really fun.
And yes, Ruben, Jesse Ventura was the governor of Minnesota. He ran as
the governor of Minnesota.
He ran as an independent. He was
like
elected as an independent, which is a rare feat.
Yeah, wasn't he wasn't he a wrestler too? Like
yeah. He was WCW Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah.
I think aliens came by and had no interest in just some monkeys barely fooling. Okay. Thanks. Barely
now
fooling around with nuclear energy.
Now that we've been talking about aliens for a good portion of the show, I just the other night I watched the comedy movie Paul, which was really funny. Yeah, like I couldn't. I like every time I see that movie, like every time that Seth Rogen speaks as Paul, I'm just a little child. I'm immature and I can't stop laughing.
Oh, thanks. No,
Yeah.
he smoked weed with Conan O'Brien in his last week
Oh
on
yeah.
the Conan show,
Yeah.
and Andy Richter too. It
No,
was-
but do you like late night TV shows? Do you like that stuff?
oh my god, I've been a fan of late night TV shows.
Oh
for
yes, you do
years.
love late night TV show because you mentioned Saturday Night Live a couple weeks back, if I'm not mistaken.
Isn't that what we do though?
Get
Like
this.
we're a
Get the-
late night show now, right?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We're just only on one night a week.
Yeah.
I watched Conan. I watched Conan from the very beginning. Like as soon as he took over for David Letterman on the late show, I think it was. Oh, late night. And nobody knew who he was. And I used to tell people, "You ever watch Conan?" They're like, "Conan O'Brien." And it's like, what's that? Like nobody knew who he was for the longest time. He was so obscure.
I liked Craig Ferguson, the Scottish dude.
Oh yes, I liked him.
Yeah, Craig Ferguson.
Yeah,
he was on the Drew Carey show.
Yeah, he does a late night game show for I think it's TBS now, or he was doing that for a while.
Craig Ferguson was unconvinced. There's nobody like him like as a talk show host. He was so casual and like he just didn't like follow the rules. Like the way he came out and did his monologue, whether it was prepared or not, it always seemed like he was just winging it all the time. And that's exactly the way he was with his guests. It was just like he just veer off it like in a non sequitur.
It was very naturalistic, wasn't it? Like it felt very genuine. Like he's like a dude you would just talk to, and like he's just like a weird dude in a pub who wanted to bullshit. You know, you just talk to him.
Yeah.
You know. And
Conan
he
O'Brien for years made fun of his guests. Like that was his thing. Like, what's wrong with you? Like he used to do a lot of that. But yeah, but I know what you're saying. Craig Ferguson was cool. Yeah,
he brought like some of like that British humor type of absurdity to it. I never got huge into Conan, but like I see a lot of clips. For some reason, like Facebook always shows me like clips of Conan, and yeah, like he has a lot of funny bits. He was a writer on The Simpsons, early on. Yeah,
he wrote some of the best episodes of The Simpsons. One of them being the monorail episode.
No, I think he was like on The Simpsons for like 2 or 3 years before.
It wasn't long. He was in the early
that?
days. I think it was 91 to 93 or something. Then he got
like seasons like 3 and 4 maybe. You know, something like that at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you ever watch Jay Leno?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So have you seen it? Have you heard about this? That guy. He was okay in retrospect. He wasn't really good at all. I like David Letterman. I used to be like, hey, throw the pencils and shit, and do the top 10 countdown, and then you had Paul. What's his name? Paul Schaefer.
Paul, yeah.
Hey.
Oh yeah, Paul Schaefer and the E Street Band, or were they?
In the E Street Band.
That was like the big competition, wasn't it? Like back in the day, it was kind of like David Letterman was kind of like the top dog, and then like Jay Leno was like the competitor trying to like catch up to him. Because they were on at the same time, right? They both came on during the same slot.
Yeah, but
Letterman was CBS, and then Leno was NBC. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but to me, David Letterman always was better than Jay Leno personally. But I like Conan too. He was fun too. But
and then now we have Colbert.
Yeah, Stevie.
I never get into these newer guys like
Colbert's
Jimmy
the
Kimmel.
most elite.
No, but
who's the other Jimmy? Jimmy
Kimmel.
Who's the other
Fallon.
one? Like Fallon and Kimball and I don't and Colbert. Like I don't know. That's not like something that I plug into now.
But Stephen Colbert.
You know what's cool about
Stephen Colbert is a little bit too political for my taste.
he's very political.
Yeah. Like if I'm gonna watch a late night show, I just want to relax and laugh, and I don't want to get a dose of politics.
Here's the difference.
Laughter.
They were always political,
all three. But here's the difference between these shows. Jimmy Kimmel it's a very loosey-goosey show. they do fun things like unnecessary censorship, and like they do this thing where they go on the streets and they ask people about bullshit that never happened, and they just agree that they saw it because they just want to be on TV and agree with stuff. And then they keep asking them follow-up questions, and they just make shit up.
Yeah.
And they get caught. But when Jimmy gets political, he's kind of like, he does it from an angry standpoint. He slips some like harsh language in there sometimes. Then you go over to Colbert, who is always like just very clever, and he's trying to like fucking just shit on people in the most like sophisticated kind of way, right? Then you get Jimmy Fallon, and he's the break from those two. He does political stuff, but he's all about fun and playing games with celebrities and just doing song stuff. And he does some of the best song parody segments. He does this brilliant stuff with Paul Rudd, where they recreate 80s music videos and stuff. And he did a song with Jack Black, what is that song? Only Words is All I Have to Give to something, whatever.
PJ, can I ask you something, though?
That one with Jack Black is so good. But anyway, Jimmy's fun. That's what I'm trying to say. And the other two are a little too serious sometimes.
Can I ask you something? Like, because you're old enough, I'm sure you remember. Like, from 1998 until the beginning of 2001, how many times did David Letterman make jokes about Bill Clinton and his sex scandal in the Oval Office? Like, that was like a weekly occurrence, right?
David didn't do it nearly as much as Leno. Leno was obsessed.
I think they both did.
I know, but Leno in particular was just, you could do like this hour reel of between him making fun of either Bill Clinton or O.J. Simpson.
Okay, I got something.
His go-to was always Bill Clinton, O.J. Simpson. Bill Clinton, O.J. Simpson. But David kind of did that too, but he was more broad with it. He made fun of other stuff. But
I actually remember it was right when after the Bush versus Gore election in 2000. That was a debacle. But okay, right after they sorted that out, they said, the Supreme Court said, okay, George W. Bush won the election, will be the country's 43rd president.
Fool me once, yeah.
Going into that, yeah. I remember watching Letterman one night and him saying like, the golden era of comedy has come to an end. The Clinton administration is over. And I remember him, and I was thinking like, because like I lived in Texas, George W. Bush was our governor. We knew he was a fucking moron, and I was like, oh my god, you're going to make so many jokes about this buffoon. As soon as he gets into the White House, he's going to start saying stupid shit, and he's not going to shut up. He's just going to say dumb shit after, just dumb thing after another dumb thing. And boy, did the comedians fucking love George W. Bush, because he gave them so much goddamn material.
Oh, man.
As Banya would say, gold, Jerry, gold.
Oh, I needed that. Thank you. I needed that laugh. Oh,
yeah, he was such good material. He was the first. I mean, they made fun of presidents before, but he was the first one where, like, when he made speeches and, like, especially the one where, like, fool me once, can't get fooled again, like that, like stupid shit.
A fool me once, can't get fooled again. Let me talk to you about nuclear. Let's talk about the nuclear weapons. Now, we need to go after the terrorists. We got to fight them over there, so we don't fight them over here. Now, who wants a smoking gun that comes in the form of a mushroom cloud?
He's got good reflexes, though. Remember when that guy threw a shoe at him?
He dodged that shit.
And you know what's funny? Oh. After Trump, he became this like lovable goofball, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, George W. We remember you." Like in there's like fond memories of him.
No,
because of the torture of the last fucking idiot.
You know, in retrospect, after living through fucking Donald Trump, I was like, I want that guy back. I want that Texan back. He was funny. I can't believe your country
went through the worst president in
yeah.
your history at the same time you were going through one of the worst
Oh.
public crises or like health crises in the world.
Well, he'll be back. He's gonna run for president in 2024.
Yeah, but do you think that we're like do you
Yeah,
think
he's
that
too much brain damage.
What
man.
if he runs against Biden and like this time he beats Biden and then he's president again? I can
Oh my
totally see it happening.
God, really?
Here's my impression of Biden. Hey,
Oh,
Jack, you won't beat me. I'm gonna beat him in 2024.
Biden's
Jack?
so hard to make
Let me
fun
tell
of
you.
because
Let me,
he's
let me tell you a
a
story
boring old dude.
about this guy named Knives. I knew back in '42.
Tell us
Knives
about
used to
Corn
walk the
Pop.
street. Hey, nobody would mess with this guy. And I'd say, Knives. I'd get to, hey, no, listen. If Trump runs, I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna beat him. I don't know if you get the whispering joke, but I don't know.
I don't get it.
He's been doing that lately.
Really?
He's like, they asked me for COVID relief. I've given them $6 trillion already. Like he's literally said stuff like that. Like when he gets when he gets a bit irritated or angry, he does this whisper thing now.
I like Ruben's comment in here, by the way.
What did he say?
He says, stuff Obama, Bush, Trump, Hillary, Bill, all of them in the same cell, all war criminals on the next episode of the PJ and Martian Files.
Oh,
I'm down with that.
Hey, Ruben. Hey, can I sneak up on you and smell your hair and rub your
seriously,
shoulders?
you guys should start like a podcast.
I'm
and
cool,
just talk about
Jack.
crap.
No fooling.
I would actually pay you guys money if you guys did that. That would be so cool.
Why does Ruben want to rain on everybody's an old boring dude who forgets shit all the time, tells bizarre, very easy to make fun of, but comedians have little balls nowadays.
He's kind of got a point. Like I never hear any Biden jokes, but I think he's just kind of a boring character.
No, but Biden is like too like I don't want like I generally don't.
I don't know, Ruben. You got to watch the late night talk shows because not a lot, but they do make fun of Biden an awful lot. When he tripped over the stairs, everybody like wouldn't let that go for a week, doing like remixes of it and everything. So like he's not immune to getting made fun of. It's just that someone like Trump, or to a lesser extent George W., they really like love digging into him. It's just that Joe's like, your silly old fucking grandpa or something.
No, but Joe's like too like mellow to make fun of. I mean, you can make fun of him if you like, but I don't know.
He's a bit creepy with the touching and the whispering, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the way he's always like sniffing young girls' hair and shit. And
hey, Jack, that's not what I'm doing. I told the girl that I'm proud that she got that award. I ain't doing nothing, Jack. See, he's weird. Like, you can make fun of him in a way that makes him seem very creepy. I mean, he's not infallible.
I just remember like so many people like to make fun of like Bill Clinton and Bush and Obama and Trump, and now like I'm not hearing it. I don't hear the Biden jokes.
Do you want to hear the Biden jokes? Like, is that something that you're looking forward to start hearing once he gets deeper into his run as our president?
Do you know two actors who want to run for president? Chris Pratt, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There's a show called Young Rock where he plays himself in the future, talking about his past, and it's like three different actors to play him as a young person in different parts of his life. But in the show, it takes place in 2032, and he's running for president in 2032. And his running mate, like vice president, is a woman played by, I forget the character's name, but Rosario Dawson.
Oh,
and it's like, is he trying to self-prophesize him running for president? Because he does want to eventually be president. Like, he does want, he's that type of person. There's no doubt about it.
He makes so much more money like every movie he does than he would make if he was president for 8 years. He wouldn't make what he. I think a president gets paid. Well, go ahead.
If you've got so much money, if you've built such, it kind of like it's a self-generating thing. Like you'd still be filthy rich while you're president.
Yeah.
But some of these men like him, like he's an ambitious dude, and he's talked about it. And then I watch this show, and I'm like, okay, in it he's playing himself in 2032 running for president. In his 60s, he's supposed to be in his 60s, right? And I'm like, is that his way of like saying that by 2032 I will run for president, and this show in retrospect will be like the prophecy, because it's a story about his past, told fairly accurate as I know it, but yeah.
Can we read the parenthesis I comment that's in there? He says, people could be having trouble making Biden jokes because Biden wasn't actually elected president. Anybody but Trump won the election. I think that's very true. I think the main reason why Biden won the election is because people just didn't want more Trump, and they're just like, give me something else. Like I've had enough of this orange buffoon.
Who said you think Biden didn't win the election?
No, he won the election, but he won because people didn't if PJ was on the ticket against Trump, people would be like, okay, Trump has
voted for
led us into a fucking disaster.
I get what you're saying now. It could have been like,
yeah.
It's crazy though. If it was Hillary again, it would be no chance. I don't know what it was with the Hillary. They had such confidence in her, but like at the same time, a lot of people didn't seem to have any interest or confidence in her, and like it seemed like he was winning, and it's like, no, he can't. He's becoming popular, but he can't. And there's that SNL skit with Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle, with a bunch of white people watching the results, and the white people start going mad, and Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle are like, "Yup, this is no surprise. America is racist," or something like that. Like, I'm not saying that myself. I'm saying in this skit they say that, or like something to that effect of like they're not surprised that he got it because Dave Chappelle at first is like, I don't know, I'm warning you people, like this, you're so confident in Hillary. And it's like it really showed the division in your country. Like it highlighted it to such an extent, and it got so out of control.
The weekend before the 2016 election, I told Antonia, I was like, I think Trump's gonna win, because I was looking at like these battleground states, like Ohio, like these Rust Belt states, where she wasn't even campaigning, and they were like neck and neck in a lot of the polls, and I was like, yeah, like if he just overperforms a little bit in these Rust Belt states, he's going to beat her. And I actually thought he was gonna, it was like right down to the wire. I thought it was like 50-50. And then when the results started coming in, everyone was talking about like, oh, it's like the red mirage, like Biden's gonna get it when they count the mail-in votes. But I was thinking like, no, I think Trump's got it again. Like I'm sorry to say, but that's what I thought. I was kind of surprised when Biden ended up winning, and only because of the COVID disaster and how big of a clusterfuck everything was, that people were just like, okay, no more Trump. We gotta stop this.
I think somebody wants us to talk about something else other than Trump and Biden.
We can't because of spoilers.
Got a Loki picture
for Fathery. You're literally spoiling it for Fathery right now.
I know, but I'm saying no, but it's not me, so don't blame me. Somebody.
Oh, not you. I'm talking to Starfleet Boy. He can't hear me.
Don't blame me.
Looks like Loki finally meets the timekeepers or whatever, but I haven't seen that. I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
But I was
Starfleet Boy. I can't believe you did that. What's wrong with you, man?
No, he's just trying to change the subject. We can.
If I could just say one more thing, and then we can just fuck off and talk about something else.
Marcelo gets the last word. Here we go.
One thing. I was so incensed with Donald Trump's behavior that I was just so happy to vote for anybody else. Like if PJ was on the ballot, other than besides Joe Biden, I would have voted for you, PJ, because I was so tired of that orange son of a bitch.
And you know what? I would not have known anything about being president, but I'd listen to the smartest people.
How hard is that?
I would literally be crying and saying, "You gotta tell me what to do. You gotta write my speeches." And they're like, "Don't worry, Mr. President, we got this."
All right,
But really, is being president that hard? It's like, oh, okay, like we're dealing with a disaster with like mudslides. Like there's like this disaster in Colorado. I don't know. There's fucking like mudslides. Like just right about it. Be like, okay, who's the top mudslide expert? Let's call that person and ask him what to do. Problem fucking solved. Can I clock out and go back to the bedroom of the White House? You know, like how hard is that?
Yeah. Go back to the Lincoln bedroom, right?
Yeah, I would vote for
No.
PJ.
Yeah.
Blue Spirit, yes, I've only seen the first episodes of Loki. Blue, I've been insanely busy lately. I've been doing these Text Trek episodes on Deep Space Nine season 4, and whenever I do those, they eat up so much of my free time because I work about 45 to 50 hours a week, and then when
Oh
I'm
my
not working,
God.
I have to edit these very long videos. I have to like trim down the conversations Dave and I have. I have to go and get screenshots and then put that in the videos and then upload it. I have to clean up the audio, make sure the audio sounds good for my podcast audience. So it's very hard to turn around that weekly content every week, and I get about 5 hours of sleep a night, and I have hardly any time for TV, so I can't really watch Loki until the weekends. And I'm keeping up with Superman and Lois, and I'm an episode behind on that show as well, and I need to catch up on the Bad Batch. It's very hard. It's very hard for me to keep up with all the
Episode
TV
12 of
you-
Superman and Lois is not until mid-July anyway, so.
Yeah. How are you still functioning? Because I do a lot of shit, but like if I did half the shit that you do in a week, I wouldn't be able to function.
I drink a lot of caffeine.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I should start watching your stuff a lot more because I think you just sold me on your work ethic now.
You should watch or listen. A lot of people just listen, but I'm trying to push my. I've been trying for about a year to push my podcast audience onto YouTube. So I tried to up my game with like the visual presentation.
Mhm.
So I can get those YouTube subscribers up.
Right. No, but if I'm gonna watch your stuff, it'll be on the YouTube because I just want to see the way you make videos and everything, just personally.
Well, yeah. Everyone watching should also subscribe to Text Trek on YouTube and let me know what you think, and I would really appreciate it.
I did a boat wreck live for like the first time in so many weeks, and I don't know how it would have been received because not many people saw it, but I got like 2 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down right away.
Cool.
And it's about Andrew Moody, the guy who was in the episode New Eden, and he talked about his experience working on Star Trek Discovery, like how it's his worst. And in so many words, he said there was a lot of tension on the set. And
Oh, is that is Andrew Moody the writer that had is the
no,
writer
he's
that
not
had,
the writer. He's the actor who plays Jacob in New Eden.
Oh, okay. I'll shut up then.
And apparently, one of the producers, I think, he hints that it's Alex Kurtzman. It could have been Heather Cade. Now who knows? Didn't like his acting. When he went in to do ADR, after the fact, they didn't like his voice. And he says,
a great voice.
You've only heard him in the episode, right?
Yeah.
That's not his voice. His voice was replaced with another man.
Oh,
and he says he doesn't even know who replaced him. He saw the episode and was like, oh, they didn't like his voice. They told him they had, and they were very rude. They were rude in a way where made him feel like he wasn't good enough and condescending.
why the
in a way.
I think I know who did his voice. I think I know who did his voice.
Who?
He's not credited.
I think it was either Phil Lamar or Phil Morris. Because when I was watching it, because those guys have kind of a similar voice, and when I was watching it, I kept thinking this guy sounds like the two of them, and those both are dudes who do a lot of voice acting. So I wouldn't surprise me if they were hired to do the voice on the character Jacob in the episode New Eden.
And yeah, you hear Andrew Moody speak, and it's not. You can tell. Oh yeah, that's not the same as.
Does he have a Canadian accent though?
No.
Is that why they dubbed him?
No. He has just a regular voice. He doesn't have that kind of deep cadence that the Dover version has. Which, it sounds like he. That's what I noticed about the character, I'm like, man, he has a very interesting voice.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm like, I have to admit, this is no slam on Andrew, but that voice is actually probably a bit better in terms of like theatricality. But the fact that they told and like they straight up said like, we don't like your voice, we're gonna I don't think they even said, I don't know if they told him they were gonna replace it, but he said, oh, then they replaced my voice, and I don't even know the actor who did it.
They do that on other TV shows too. Like they did that, like on Deep Space Nine. You know the we were just talking about it in season 4, the 2-part episodes, Homefront and Paradise Lost. You know that Grazerite president that looks like a big cow.
Yes, yeah.
That's not the voice of that actor. They dubbed it over because they didn't like the way he sounded. He had like kind of like a Bronx accent, and they were like, yeah, this guy's accent isn't working. We're gonna redub this.
A lot of times, a lot of not usually the main ones, but some of the background actors like in Aliens who have like a complicated mouth coverings or like dentures and stuff like that. Oftentimes, that'll be like re-recorded after the fact.
Yeah, Ruben knows what's
the
up.
ADR.
He says ADR stuff happens all the time.
Yeah,
It's not that
literally
uncommon.
in everything. Yeah.
I can see that being offensive to like the actor if you're like, no, like I really poured my heart and soul into that performance, and I hate that they like didn't keep all of it. But I mean, that is a very common practice in the industry.
Most times it's the actor redoing their own dialogue in a studio, like literally looking at the screen and then syncing like a better tone or like a different cadence, because sometimes with the boom mics, especially, you see a lot of ADR in especially older movies. It's so noticeable when people are walking on a busy street and it's like a wide shot where there's like no possible boom mic around, and it's like, well, obviously something has to, like, wherever it is, it could be like too much of the noise and stuff in the street could interfere with it and you can't really hear them. But you will see that in a lot of movies where people are walking and talking. Sometimes they'll have to do like whole sections where it's like a whole ADR thing. You see that in The Next Generation a lot. I notice it. I don't know if anybody else does. You can see it's like, oh, this sounds like you can tell. And Ruben probably can spot ADR like, you know, like a sniper.
Yeah, I was
doesn't make sense, but yeah.
I was watching an episode of Lost this week, and in one particular scene, the main character who plays Jack Shepherd was walking through the woods, and all of a sudden he said a particular line, and I was like, "That's ADR," and it sounded so odd and so out of place. But that's the first time that I've noticed an ADR line within Lost, which is kind of funny.
In Star Trek 6, when they're in the Klingon prison, McCoy, there's a shot where McCoy's talking but his mouth isn't moving in a cut. It cuts
really
to another angle, and it's him, but he's still talking, but the mouth isn't moving anymore.
PJ, you watch Red Letter Media, I know, right? Have you heard their theory on Ghostbusters, where you know when they call who's the EPA dude? What's his name?
Peck.
Yeah,
Pecker.
When they're like dickless over here, you know, shut down our containment unit, and then like someone was
asking, that
like,
scene, remember? We acted
it
out.
Yeah, it was someone was asking like, is that true? And then Bill Murray says, in that very like dry Bill Murray delivery, yes, it's true. This man has no dick. But then it's like when his back is turned to the camera, he's like, well, that's what I heard. And the theory on Red Letter Media is that they ADR'd that because Bill Murray didn't want to sound gay. Like I know for a fact this man has no dick. Like they ADR'd it to make Bill Murray's character sound less gay. I don't know if that's true or not. I could see them doing that in 1984, but I don't know. That's a great scene and a great movie, and I love Ghostbusters. But yeah, that's just speaking to the effect ADR has.
So like some of the producers were so self-conscious of somebody thinking they were gay that they picked up on that and said, wait, we gotta we've got to make sure nobody thinks Venkman is gay, despite the fact that he's constantly hitting on the leading lady.
You know the Incredible Hulk TV show from the 70s, right? With Bill Bixby as David Banner instead of Bruce Banner. Do you know why his name was David Banner in the TV show?
Why?
Because you wouldn't like him when he was angry.
Because the suits in charge of the show thought that the name Bruce Banner sounded gay, and so they changed it to David Banner.
What?
I've heard that throughout my life, that the
I've
names like
never
Bruce
heard
and
that
Lance were like
Wow. That is
somehow
so
gay names.
That is so
I
stupid.
don't know. Like that's not like I
never
don't think
understood that.
I don't think like whatever name your parents give you determines your orientation.
One of the toughest kids
but-
I knew growing up was named Leslie, and nobody fucking make fun of that dude.
It was like
trust
a
me.
boy named Sue, right? You know that Johnny Cash song?
You're like, so you'd be tough.
Yeah.
Like nobody would mess with you because you'd always
That is
let them
Some
know.
guy would giggle and I'd turn red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue.
That is one of the
My name's
weirdest
Leslie,
stories
Leslie
I've
Nielsen.
heard, man. It's crazy. It's insane.
Cheryl is sometimes a guy's name.
Cheryl.
Leslie
like
Nielsen
Cheryl.
is a Canadian, right?
He was a kid, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
from the east part of Canada, isn't he? Is he like from?
No, he's from.
Oh.
I thought he was from.
No, but it wasn't.
Is he from
Canadian?
Alberta? Maybe I don't know where he's from.
He's from Ontario or somewhere.
Okay, I don't
William
know.
Shatner's from Ontario. What's her name? Oh, I'm sorry, him. Elliot Page is from Nova Scotia.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
He's Canadian, right? No, he is.
Natasha Henstridge. I can't pronounce her last. You know the girl.
Natasha Hemstridge.
Yeah, her and Shannon Tweed are from where I live. Gene Simmons' wife. Penn Teller.
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller. Who's the big guy or the tall guy? What's his name?
Penn.
Is he Teller?
Penn's
No,
the big one, right? Teller's the one that doesn't talk.
Yeah, the big guy. His wife's family is from a town just outside my city where he often is, not often, but he's been seen there and stuff.
Penn Gillette, that's his name, right? Penn Gillette.
Yeah.
He lost weight though. He slimmed down. I don't know if you've seen him in recent years. But he got healthy. I mean, good for him, I guess. I don't know. I think he looked funnier when he was fat, but you know, whatever. You do you.
There's a new Disney movie, or I don't know if it's a Disney Plus movie. It's called Peter and Wendy. They're filming it here.
Really?
Peter and Wendy, like a Peter Pan movie.
Yeah, it's funny because the dog in Peter
like
Pan
Peter
is a Newfoundland. Is a Newfoundland dog.
You remember that movie Hook with Robin Williams?
I love Hook. I love Hook so good.
I do.
Rufio.
Rufio. I'm gonna start going nuts.
Who was Hook? Was that Christopher Plummer? Was Hook?
Oh, Jesus,
no,
that was Dustin Hoffman.
That was Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
Glenn Close is also in the movie as one of the male crew members.
Yeah,
Who gets
I
put
know.
in the box.
The guy that Dustin Hoffman stuffs in the boo box.
Bob Hoskins is Shmi. As
Oh yeah, Bob
Shmi,
Hoskins.
Shmi.
He was great, wasn't he?
Shmee.
I loved Rob. You know what? Robin Williams, to this day, he died in 2014, I believe.
He's still the best.
7 years ago. And it still hurts to think about him. I was watching a video of him with Coco, and I was just like, I miss this dude. I don't know what it is about him. He's like
There's
the
so
only
much-
celebrity that it feels like I lost a family member. And no joke, it just feels weird. I've never had a reaction to anybody's death like his.
Yeah, I actually for like yesterday or a couple days ago, I watched
Like any celebrity, you know what I mean?
right. I watched Good Morning Vietnam, and his performance in that movie is
Oh my
just
God, so good.
outstanding. It is, especially the first time he comes on the air and he just goes nuts.
I think that movie
It's
started the
amazing.
trope of
Good morning, Vietnam. There's so many cool things, so many cool roles just within the last 7 years. Like, you know, like MCU would have used him. He would have been in the Marvel movies at some point by now. He probably would have been the genie in like the Aladdin remake that Will Smith did. Like there's just been so many fucking cool opportunities that I think Robin Williams, who knows, there would have been a lot of movies that would get made because like someone showed him a script and he's like, yeah, I want to do this, and some studio would green light it. Like he had so much more potential. Like I feel like he could have been like a powerhouse for another 20 years at least. It is sad that we lost him.
There is a documentary that goes, his wife is in, that goes through like awareness about what he had and the Lewy body dementia, which creates a mind where you're just like the walls are closing in, you're paranoid, you're angry, you're just, your brain's out of control, and it's like it's torture. Like the way it's described, it's just complete and utter torture, and just it's like one of the saddest deaths. I mean, you've had deaths like Michael Hutchins from In Excess, and then you had David Carradine, and these guys and Chris Cornell and all the dudes who hung themselves, right?
Mm.
And it's like, and then you see some like the wrestler like Chris Benoit killed his family and then himself, and these football players who like snap and either kill themselves or hurt other people. It's like there should be a shit ton more research about like
mental health,
brain
right?
damage, and like depression medications and stuff like that, because you see these commercials on TV now that talk about like, if you've ever been on depression medications, you could have like uncontrollable twitches and whatnot. See, what happens on occasion is that these depression medications mess with your dopamine levels and send signals and like cause all of these things, and like drug use too can really fuck you up later in life. Like I'm not saying like Lewy body dementia came from Robin Williams' excessive cocaine use, or certain things that happen later in life, like
but he did have
deteriorates
addiction.
because he dropped too much acid in the 70s or something like that, which people do have acid flashbacks and stuff like that, which is really scary.
But there was something that he probably struggled with, all his life, because he talked about it in his comedy, like his alcoholism, and I'm sure that having those demons didn't help with his other issues that developed later.
It's like there's got to be a way in the future that when somebody starts feeling messed up, that the doctor just doesn't say, okay, here are these pills, take these and see what you're like in like 2-3 weeks, and then if not, we'll try on something else, and if not, we'll try on something else, and you don't know how this fucks people up, you know what I mean? Like they're going to a doctor and paying good money and thinking, oh, I'm getting help for my messed up brain. It's like there's not enough like investigation into alternative methods than to just look at somebody. I mean, not everybody can afford that like $50 to $100 an hour therapy and shit like that, right?
No, I think that as a person myself who suffers from depression, I I can't afford to go into therapy, so my therapy is doing stuff like this and doing my podcast. That helps me deal with, anytime that I feel depressed, I do a podcast or I make a video. But there are a lot worse people in the world that are in a deeper state of depression that sometimes they don't know how to ask for help. So I would hope that those people get the help that they need. But like PJ is saying, the system to help these people should be better.
Yes, I agree.
It should be a lot better.
I mean, I'm an antisocial weirdo, and I know it. And no, but it's true. Like, I can't navigate social media. I get very frustrated with it. The only thing I find cathartic, I guess, is the word I'm trying to use. Some kind of catharsis in the YouTube streaming talking thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the ticket for me. That's the true thing that matters. Like everything else, like Facebook, I don't have. Twitter, I like really try not to give a shit about, and try to actually like one day just get rid of, and see if like there's some other way I can just But like Twitter seems to be the only way right now. I want something better.
No,
Better than bitter Twitter.
For me, a lot of people say that Twitter is a awful place and it's the garbage pail of the internet.
It's in
But for
between,
me,
I think. I'm not. Yeah.
But for me personally, Twitter has been a very positive experience. And it's because of people like you, Father, and it's like people like you, PJ, and it's like people like Starfleet Boy, who is in the control room right now, hopefully still alive. That I have.
He hasn't turned into a force ghost just yet.
Yeah. No, that
he's
that
laughing right now. Right now, Sohail's in the hotel room laughing because I said he hasn't turned into a force ghost just yet, and he's like laughing about it. And now he's like, fuck you, Father. How do you know I'm laughing?
There he goes. There he goes. Just put the comment up. No, but it's because
If
of
you
you
strike
guys.
me down,
Yeah. I shall become more powerful than you could ever imagine. So no, but
up, old man.
Yeah, shut up.
We have the return of Starfleet Boy.
You have to go to Exegol.
Rise, Lord Vader.
Skywalker.
Who does a better Emperor, PJ or Sohail?
I would
Give me a line. I don't know his lines. See, I'm not that much of a Star Trek.
Say
Star Wars geek.
Say the dark side of the Force is a pathway to. I don't know the line either. He's like, the dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some would consider unnatural.
Okay, well, there's Palpatine, and then there's the Emperor. So the Palpatine says, the dark side of the Force is a path to abilities some would consider unnatural, or something like that. And then the Emperor is like, the dark side of the Force is a pathway to abilities some would consider unnatural.
I think he's really good at that.
Give me a simple line.
That you want says. This, don't you? He teases him with the lightsaber.
No, something better. Something better.
What about so be it?
Here, I got Jedi. One for you, PJ. Ready? Here, PJ. Ready? Here, you can do this one. Your friends up there on the sanctuary moon are walking into a trap. A legion of my best.
No, that's too complicated. I can't remember myself.
I have to go.
Okay, I got a short one. I got a short one. When he says, "Rise, old friend," he tells that to Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi.
You cut out there. You froze. Say it again.
He says, "Rise, old friend."
Rise, old friend. What about
That's good.
What was the other one you said before?
Oh, speaking of friend, he tells Yoda, he says, "My little green friend."
My little green. I can't do it. Oh, fuck it.
You were kind of turning into Soren from Star Trek Generations.
Yeah, no.
Just a little bit.
I can't do it.
By the way, what was it? Yeah, what was I saying? No, I was just saying to finish up. I'm very, very grateful to have friends like you in my life, and for me personally, Twitter has been a very positive experience. Although I do acknowledge that it can be the shithole of the internet for a lot of people.
I hear a lot of people say that, and the thing for me with Twitter, I don't use Twitter a lot. I'm trying to make myself use it more because I'm trying to pick up followers. That's kind of working. But
I follow you.
Please follow me at TXTrek.
I do.
The thing that I've done with Twitter, though, is because I'm very focused online with Star Trek. I'm a big fan of a ton of things, but Star Trek is my true love. That's the one that I focus on the most. And so I only have one Twitter handle, and that's the Text Trek host Twitter handle. And I only follow Star Trek related stuff. And even within just like the Star Trek community, there is some Twitter drama, especially recently, that pops up here and there. But overall, I find it a very positive experience because I've just created this Star Trek social media app, basically. And whenever I log into my Twitter, I only see Star Trek stuff. It works for me.
Yeah, I actually have to echo that. Like 95% of the people that I follow on my Twitter, on my personal Twitter feed now, are Star Trek people. And like you, every time I look at my feed, 95% of the stuff there is Star Trek stuff. By the way, you do follow my podcast, the Radio 815 on your Twitter account.
Your
So
feeble
I thank
skills
you for
are
that.
no match for the power of the dark side.
But that's Star Trek adjacent because of the
Yeah,
J.J.
it is
Abrams connection.
JJ. The Star Trek,
So
but
I made an exception only for you,
thank you,
Marcelo. I wouldn't have done it for
thank you,
anyone
thank you,
else.
thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Your feeble skills are no match for the power of the dark side.
It sounds like the Emperor if he had a little bit of helium.
No, but that was great.
Hey, Sohel, bring your ass back here.
Come on.
I ain't done talking to you. Hey,
I agree there's Twitter drama. That Starfleet Boy is a real a-hole.
Starfleet Boy, how long of a trip is it from Miami to Orlando?
3.5 hours.
That ain't too bad.
I thought it was 3.4.
I used to go to Orlando a lot because my father used to live there, and every summer we used to vacation down there. I remember as a kid going down there and having a wonderful time. It's a wonderful place. Filled with old people who can't drive properly, but a wonderful place nonetheless.
It's so hot in the American Northwest and in Canada, Western Canada, man. Like, towns are burning and shit.
They don't have air conditioners. Where I live in Texas. Yeah, it'll get up to 115 degrees Fahrenheit or like 44 degrees Celsius for those of y'all in other countries in the summer. But we have air conditioners. For the most part, damn near everyone who lives here has an air conditioner in their house.
Who doesn't have air conditioners?
People who live in Oregon and Washington and Idaho and British Columbia and Alberta and Montana, they don't have air conditioners.
It's weird because I didn't really. In Newfoundland, they're not common because summers don't get that hot.
Right.
They get reasonably warm, and then that's it. Usually, we have a heat wave every 7 to 10 years.
Like PJ,
like
how many days a year do you think you have where the temperature gets above, say, 30 degrees Celsius? How often does that happen?
Max 20 days out of the year.
So it's not like a primary concern for y'all. And like over there on the West Coast, it doesn't get as cold as it gets for you. Well, Alberta, Montana, that area gets like really fucking cold.
There's a common misconception about our winters. They're quite good. They're often not that bad. Like we had the Snowmageddon back in a couple of years ago, remember? Like that weird Snowmageddon in the East Coast where I had snow past the top of my door.
So you're close enough to the Atlantic that because the more coastal you are, the more moderate the temperatures tend to be.
We're like it's always like neutral. Like our seasons blend so weirdly together.
Well, how many days a year do you think you have below freezing?
Below freezing is what, like in Celsius?
Zero for you.
Zero would be minus what, 10 or something? Celsius maybe.
Celsius, like 0 is freezing. Like how many days do you have below 0 degrees?
Not that many.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I would have thought it was colder. I would have thought it was colder where you live.
Like our winter, this past winter was mild as hell.
Mine wasn't.
It's funny because you were getting this like terrible winter weather when we were just like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like usually in Canada, we're the ones who are getting, like, I lived in Ontario for 3 years and those winters were like deadly cold and like dry and your skin would crack. It was really bad. and then coming back here, you're on an island, you're surrounded by water. It's just something really special about that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like about Vancouver is because they don't have that many days. We actually in Texas, we're central Texas where I live. We tend to get more days below freezing than they actually get in Vancouver or Seattle area. And yeah, like in the winters, it's going to be like in the what we would in Fahrenheit would consider like the 40s all the time, but it doesn't get much colder than that. And I'm fine with like the drizzly rain all the time. Like I really like Vancouver. I totally would live there if I could. But yeah, it's really sad right now for me to think about it being so fucking hot there and people who don't have air conditioning. I'm sure a bunch of old people have like had heat strokes and died. You know, people in bad health. That happens here. You know, when it gets like really fucking hot, like poor people who don't have air conditioning, they die from like heat strokes because they're 90 years old and can't survive in those conditions. When the snowpocalypse happened, people froze to death. I mean, like I hate like extreme weather that kills people like
the
that.
first heat wave I ever experienced was like a mild heat wave in Ontario when I moved to Mississauga in '98, and it was 3:00 in the morning. I never experienced like over 30 something degree weather like in the middle of the night. Like that was never a thing. And I remember like just a dead heat, and everybody had air conditioning everywhere, and there was a time where it was so hot, even with the air conditioning. I remember I had a video camera, and the tape melted in the video camera.
Oh my god!
Like the 8mm tape, the Super 8 or whatever. You know, it's not actual film. It's the half cassette things, those little cassettes. But yeah, it was crazy, and I was like, "This is terrible. Like you can't even go outside. Like that's crazy." But you know what? I can sleep comfortably in a room that's 5 degrees Celsius.
OG Skywatch said 280 died in Western Canada, and they lost a town to fire.
Yeah, it's like it's the very definition of climate crisis, and I know people want to make fun of that, like, oh, climate crisis. I'm like, this
get used to it,
real, dude.
Yeah, get used to it. We got more to come.
This is the beginning of the end, unless we do something. And they're really pushing for the whole electric car thing. Apple is apparently coming out with an electric car.
That's not going to solve it. Like there's so much of like manufacturing produces so much carbon into the atmosphere. Like there's a lot of shit that needs to be changed, and I doubt we'll do it.
Can we do something fun here and speculate about like where in the future we'll go? I think in terms of like carbon emissions with animals and like animal agriculture, I think that will be phased out by this new like whole replacing meat with growing meat. This like thing where they can grow actual meat that's like the flavor of the animal, but it was never alive.
From what? How would they do that though?
You've never heard of this, where they actually
No,
grow?
I've never heard of this. Educate me.
Well, it's crazy. You got to look up this stuff. I don't know all the details, but like people have actually tasted. It's I don't know what they use, but they can actually grow like beef and stuff.
Cool.
It's crazy, and it's like real, but it's not from anything that was alive. It's just the genetic material that they manifest. Like it's fucking seems like science fiction.
But even if we like exterminate the majority of the cows on the planet, like there's still going to be a lot of CO2 pollution.
What are you talking about exterminate? Like we're all going to take a flamethrower.
I mean,
bomb them like in Starship Troopers or something.
The whole vegan argument is that like the meat industry breeds too many cows and they produce too much CO2. So we got to get rid of it, right? Isn't that like the whole argument against like the meat industry?
It's going to take decades to slowly phase out that kind of thing and get to a point where we just don't eat animals.
We don't have decades though. Like if we don't reverse this shit by 2030, that's 9 years away. They're saying that it'll be irreversible damage.
Oh, that's
the atmosphere.
We're too fucked up to recognize that that was inevitable anyway, but now like the reality is setting in, like
Yeah.
just in general, like people who pay attention, right? It's like we're getting to a point now where it's like, yeah, we can see that it's getting more fucked up. We know we're in trouble. Like the sea levels are rising, literally rising, and it's just there's so many factors that are happening at the same time. It's just you can't ignore it.
And what are the wealthiest people in the world? What's Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos? What are they trying to do right now? Like, what are their big goals? Remind me. Like, what are they really focused on doing? Where are they trying to go?
Space.
Mars.
Trying to get the fuck out of here.
Yes. So that should be very alarming.
Yeah, but do you guys think that one day a human will make it to Mars if we survive?
Oh no, without a doubt. Within our lifetime, probably.
Okay.
In the next 30 years.
Yeah, I don't mean to change the conversation of the panel, but I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, we have the technology to go to Mars now. It's just extremely expensive to facilitate it.
Mm-hmm. But isn't Elon Musk isn't that like a privately owned space? Isn't SpaceX like a privately owned space company, or does he have to?
Yeah. And
Okay.
Elon Musk, he just relocated here to Austin, Texas. I'm sad to say that he's moved here. He's opening up Tesla factories here, and I think their goal. I think it's kind of fantastic that they're kind of fantasy that they think this is possible. But I think what they would like is they want to build like mansions on Mars and go and like live there and have enough resources to live out their lives.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that, but I would prefer a future like that's like similar to like For All Mankind, but I know that's not going to happen.
I didn't watch that show, so I don't know about that shit.
Oh,
sure,
if you
good, Ron Moore. I like Ron Moore,
dude.
They finally made Apple TV available on my Android TV, which they didn't before. So that's like I want to watch these shows, and that was one of them. For All Mankind, I want to see.
Yeah. You guys have to watch For All Mankind. For All Mankind.
Is it on Blu-ray? Can I buy it on physical media?
No. Unfortunately, you can't.
Apple exclusive, baby.
I'm stealing that one.
No, I mean I could. Yeah, I could. No, but let's talk off the air. I could help you out with that.
The morning show, Ted Lasso.
No, but
I ain't seen nothing that's on Apple. So
no, but seriously,
this Foundation show, I'm hearing good things about that. So yeah, if anyone wants to help me out with some Apple TV,
you know what I do with.
Yeah, I could help you out with that.
The best thing to do with streaming services now at this point, rotate. I get sick of one, I cancel it, and I resubscribe when I want to go back to it. Same thing with Disney Plus. I don't have that all the time. I only got it back when Loki started, and I watched some other things. Like I started watching The Devil Wears Prada for some reason last night and just fell asleep. It's like it's something about Meryl Streep's voice in that movie.
Starfleet Boy wants us to read this comment.
I love the idea of making humanity multiplanetary. So if life goes extinct on Earth, all of humanity won't be wiped out.
But hey, PJ, maybe we can like build like super advanced robots that take over, and even though like they kill all of us, maybe they can like go out into space. So, like the robots can go out into space and colonize the planets. Like, that's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'm into the idea of forming utopia. Oh shit!
We got to read this though. He wants us to read this.
I'm into the idea of forming utopian colonies on Mars, separate from what the billionaires are setting up out there.
Yeah. So that's like Jamestown base on the moon from For All Mankind. So if you guys watch For All Mankind, you'll get it.
Okay.
But
you know what it's going to be? There's going to be an arc that Jeff Bezos or maybe Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos will team up, build an arc, and then when the world is like, yeah, guys, the world's starting to like crumble. And we gotta get the fuck out of here. Like all the richest people get on this arc, and they're literally up in space. Like, see you later. And then like an asteroid hits them, and they all die.
Yeah, it's gonna be like it's gonna be.
I'll
like
shoot that shit down. I will shoot their rocket down. Be like, nope, you ain't getting out of here,
dang
bitch.
varmint.
with a space shotgun.
I will lasso their rocket and ride it up
you'll-
into space, and then like kick open the hole in the hull of their ship and sabotage it or some shit.
You'll be
Yeah,
like the
can-
farmers back in when Orson Welles did the War of the Worlds broadcast,
Oh,
running
yeah.
out into the fields with the shotguns.
Yeah, there were
Where
dudes
them
running
damn-
around,
Where
with
them damn
buckets on their head.
spaceships?
Yeah,
Can
let
you
me at
guys-
them.
Can you guys clear something up for me? I don't understand. Like every time somebody brings up Elon Musk in in a conversation, somebody says that he is like the devil and the worst person ever. Can you guys like clear that up for me, because I don't get it.
There's a strange reaction people have to people on
So-
the spectrum,
so
or
can-
people
yeah.
who are have Asperger's. I've known people like it.
Oh.
I have. I'm some degree of it, but I knew this one particular guy, and people used to have the weirdest reactions to him because he was a certain way, but he was like best. He was like cool. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with him if you knew him, but it's like socially, like he didn't pick up on certain cues and stuff, and just like he had this. If you watch Elon Musk host SNL, he admits like this is the first person with Asperger's to host a show, and like you watch him, he's awkward, but he's funny. Like there's one skit where he plays Wario, and it's like you admire him for the effort, and it humanizes him in a way to see him like try to like do the sketch comedy stuff, which some of it's kind of cool, but it's like weird. Like he's not an actor, right? Like I couldn't get up there and do sketches. Like I'm a shitty actor
Right.
like that, right?
Right.
But
Also, he has.
I
like
don't
a-
get people have a weird reaction to him, but because he seems weird, and I think they take him the wrong way. And like billionaires with big ideas are often like demonized because they're elite, the top 1%, and that's bad. That mentality, I think. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I genuinely don't like him, and I'll say why.
Okay.
I don't know enough about him, but tell me.
I mean, a lot of it, like, I think he gets credited as being like this really big genius when actually he's bought all of his technology. He didn't even he wasn't even the founder of Tesla. He basically went and like the guy who like invented Tesla, he basically went to him and was like, okay, I'm going to pay you enough money that I get to take credit for your like electric car company.
That's what you call a smart businessman, sir.
He was born into a lot of wealth because his family lived in South Africa during apartheid.
You can't help you who your daddy is.
He
Go ahead.
had but yeah, he just inherited a shitload of wealth from the exploitation of the local African population and
Okay,
has
now I feel like
all that
shit,
blood
thanks.
diamond money. And in addition to that, so now he has all these resources and he hires all these people to do a lot of like real work, but he doesn't like paying them. He's a notorious union buster, and he's spent a lot of his own money and resources into suppressing wages of his own workers. So yeah, I think he's kind of a very selfish, greedy man who believes a lot of his own PR and thinks he's smarter than he actually is.
So
That's
he
why I
has-
relate to him so much. No, but seriously. Those are all good points. I didn't know that. But it should have been like one of those like zooms in on your face like they do in SNL where it's like wow wow like Debbie Downer.
Wow wow wow.
Because now all my enthusiasm for Elon Musk has just gone out the
Yeah,
window.
no, I mean,
I didn't know his family exploited people and stuff like that.
Well, Ruben has some thoughts. Ruben wants to weigh in. He says Elon Musk could end world hunger and homelessness in the U.S. and still be one of the top 3 richest people in the world. Same with Bezos. They are parasites who should be taxed into oblivion.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I like these
side with Ruben.
perspectives. Yeah, okay. It's
No.
interesting though how like people with this insane fucking amount of money, like him and Bill Gates and all these people. Bill Gates, I have to give credit to because he seems like the most intelligent of all the elites. Like when I hear him talk, especially when he talked about the pandemic, and he accurately predicted like the course of it, right? Like he was really like on the money about, we got to get the poorer countries too. We got to get them stuff too. You know what I mean? Like not all the privileged countries just can't get it, and then that'll be the end of it. This will go on for years unless. And he the timeline of the pandemic, like he was very dead on about, and all of his ideas seem good and stuff. But he's also a person I'm like thinking like he obviously donates a lot of stuff. I've heard about that. But like these people could literally band together, like actually like find some like genuine humanity and say, listen, let's pull some money and like feed this fucking country that's dying and on the brink of extinction, or like this village, or just do little things there and there. You know what I mean? It's like you can. They talk about like the amount of money some of these people have could literally feed the world or power the world. You know what I mean? Like free energy could be a thing. What's holding that back? Like,
well, there's no profit motive in doing that. So the people who control these resources, they don't want to do that. They want to position, like Elon Musk. He was supportive of the United States attempting a coup in Bolivia because Bolivia has all the rich lithium mines. He's like, yeah, I need lithium for my batteries. I want to go there. I want to get like the sweet government contracts, go there, mine that lithium, support my private enterprises.
And what about the cobalt in the Congo and stuff? They've exploited the Congo for years to get certain materials that they use in computer chips and stuff.
Parenthesis I. Sohel, if you can go back to parenthesis I, he had a comment. People who work at SpaceX work crazy amount of hours. That would be great if you treated the mission SpaceX with a religious like devotion. But if you don't have that, it would be a shitty job. For this, I was actually at a party. Was it last week or the week before? It was 2 weeks ago. I went to a friend's birthday party. And one of his friends there was actually a woman who works for Tesla. And she is totally drunk on the Elon Musk Kool-Aid. She's like, oh, yeah, like I love Daddy Elon. I'll ride that dick all day. I think that's almost like verbatim what she said. But she's like he's actually not that bad of a boss. I only worked 80 hours this week. Yeah, she's like fucking insane. She's like, I don't think $40,000 is a lot to ask for a car that drives itself or whatever. And, yeah, she was there's like that whole cult of personality that like his employees buy into.
But can we agree that we all want a future where there's no scarcity and
yes,
everybody's taken care of, like a Star Trek kind of fucking vision? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
Not Picard, where people are living in trailers like destitute. But
but I do think that if humanity eventually gets to the Star Trek, if we eventually get to next generation times, I do think that Americans will find people to fight with in space too.
We don't have money in the 24th century.
No, but you
don't get paid?
Yeah.
Well, maybe the United States doesn't exist in the 24th century. Like, since it's kind of like a made-up country anyways, like there's like a bunch of Native Americans here, and then we've kind of like made up this country, the United States of America. Maybe that just goes away in the future. It's like not a real thing.
I like that comment. I'm all into fully automated luxury communism.
Yeah, parenthesis I. Parenthesis I knows what's that. We've talked.
Automation will eventually replace all the medial jobs.
Well, that was the idea.
You should see what the robots are doing now. They're like dancing in unison. They're like robot dance groups now.
PJ, there were futurists back in the 50s and 60s, and they described the 21st century as saying like, oh yeah, when we get like past the year 2000, there's going to be a big problem figuring out what we'll do with our relaxation, because none of us will have jobs. The robots will be doing everything. But instead, the way that they use automation is instead of being like, okay, we have enough automation that like our workers, we got half of the work covered. So you only have to work 20 hours, but we'll still pay you the same. Like instead, they're like, okay, we have like all these robots. We don't need as many actual workers. So we're just going to lay half of you off. And so, yeah, what are we going to do? We're going to have a major crisis when we get to the point to where there aren't enough jobs to go around. And when that happens, this is something that happened at many years ago, decades ago, at the Ford factory in Detroit, Michigan. They brought the automotive workers union president on this tour of like the new Ford factory, and they were showing him how they had like these early stage robots that were going to assist in the construction of cars. And the Ford CEO or whoever it was, might have been actual like Henry Ford, one of his like grandchildren or something. He said to the union president, though, he said, "You see that robot there? How are you going to make that robot pay union dues?" And then the union president replied with, "How are you going to make that robot buy a car?" So that's the problem we're going to get into, is that we used to have a big economy based on production. You know, people were farmers, people worked in factories, people were producing materials. Then a lot of those jobs got outsourced to overseas. A lot of them got replaced by automation. So now we're kind of like a service industry. You know, we have people work at restaurants or insurance companies or whatever have you. People have IT jobs. People are accountants. People are doing like these services for other people and for businesses. A lot of that shit's going to get automated. There's going to be computer software and robots that replace those jobs. So then we get rid of the service industry. We automate that. So now what are people going to do? And if you're not paying anybody, who the fuck is going to be spending money on all these products and services the corporations are providing? So that's the big crisis we're coming to. And yeah, that's something that we're I don't know what we'll change into, but we're going to have to change into something by the end of the century.
I hope, and I know this sounds like you know, communism stuff, and trust me, like, I know the stigma and the weird, like, different views on it and stuff, but I think we're gonna get to a point where if automation takes over, and yes, people will still work in some capacity. I mean, like, it can't be like robots do literally everything. People are still going to have reasons to do things, but it will allow people the choice of, like, there's still going to be scientists. You're still going to be highly educated people who have to do very important jobs. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
there will always be jobs in that sense, but in terms of like the middle or lower class general public, like the blue collar, I guess, or the white collar. I don't know if I'm getting the terminology
blue collar,
right. It almost seems like we like people who aren't rich or have important jobs, a lot of would live in a welfare state almost, where like you're just provided everything you need basically, and there's this concept of basic universal income may be a thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's something.
It seems like money can just keep being created, like, and it's like the debt keeps rising in every country, and it's like, it seems weird that how this is like this continuous loop of debt and that accumulates and borrowing to stimulate the economy that's devastated, and it's like it's all really just an illusion. And if the world could somehow cooperate and everybody could pool everybody's resources peacefully, which would take like probably a century more to fucking happen, but unless we're fucking wiped out by then, who knows? We really need to get our shit together and like actually work together. And I think the pandemic was the first big warning sign of like, if we don't cooperate collectively as a planet in times of crises or the next one, then we've got no fucking chance. Like, this was the litmus test.
It was a preview. It was a precursor.
This is a preview.
We're talking about with
events.
climate change. But I'm sorry, just real quick. Like, with we're already seeing it every year. There's additional climate disaster. Like we're old enough. Like even just within our lifetimes, like shit like wasn't like this in the 80s and 90s, where we had like these severe storms, these severe forest fires, these severe heat waves and snow apocalypses. Like we've just witnessed in our brief lifetimes a major change in what we used to consider normal. And I don't think we'll ever see normal again. I think this is just life now. Life is just going to be crazy and unpredictable.
You just mentioned snowpocalypse, right? Isn't it funny how one winter we had a really bad record. Nothing like it in the history of our province, right? And then you have one in Texas. Like, and in that part of the world where like it's so like it's kind of normal for us to have some kind of like crazy snow event because we're Canada. We're on an island, we're surrounded by water. But then like for you guys to have it and like your infrastructure, like you explained, can't handle it.
Yeah.
And pipes were busting and fucking like people were literally freezing to death because they're living so long in such a climate that your body can't handle it. Like, for example, if I went down there while that was going on, I would be cold, obviously, because I saw your temperatures and stuff. I followed it. But I wouldn't be like, shivering or anything. I could probably wear like a winter jacket and I'd be good.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But it's weird how like places that never experience weather phenomenon are suddenly getting it. Hurricanes are getting harsher, killing more people, and they're becoming more erratic and unpredictable. And it's like all this evidence, anybody who denies it at this point is just like living literally like head in the sand, living under a rock. Don't get it.
Yeah. It's going to continue to get worse. Now, Sohel has informed me that his battery is going to die and we only have 5 minutes left of showtime. So we can probably try to end on a more positive note for these last 5 minutes. If anyone has any suggestions.
Pastel Pirate said none of us had actual winter jackets.
By the way, I just want to say,
understandable, yes.
I like your shirt, PJ, what it says on your shirt. Yeah. I like it.
I think he's just lost. I don't think he's talking about the TV show.
Yeah, I know, but I like the shirt. So. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it is a TV show, but I like it anyway.
No. It's just a sweater that says "Lost." Actually, my cousin made it.
Oh, really? Huh. Anyway,
does anyone have any content they want to plug before we sign off?
Yeah, I have 2 podcasts. The first one that I have is the Red Wall podcast, and that's a podcast where I talk about Star Trek, things that have happened in my life, what it's like to be like, what it's like to live life as a disabled screenplay writer and a disabled young man. New episodes of that podcast come out every Wednesday. So if you like hearing my voice and you actually want to hear me talk about other stuff that isn't nerdy, that is more personal to me, you can catch me there. And you can also catch me on Radio 815, and that's a podcast dedicated to examining the work of writer-director J.J. Abrams, as well as his greater Bad Robot universe. And that is a podcast that is a year round, and we just posted a new episode today. We're talking about season 2 of Lost right now, so you can just find me on all of the podcast interwebs.
That's cool. And PJ, Ruben posted a comment that he would like you to read in the chat, if you don't mind reading that, and then whatever you want to plug, I guess.
I'm not going to read that.
PJ, what's going on in the boat wreck universe right now?
Well, nothing, but I did watch every single episode, minus 2. I did 2 with Sean of Star Trek Discovery, and those commentaries are fun. But I will be reviewing Lower Decks in August, so probably not much until then.
I love Lower Decks.
Oh, and by the way,
I look forward to that.
Check out on this channel, Starfleet Boy After Dark, me and Sohail's commentary on E.T., and we're planning on at some point doing Jurassic Park.
Cool. Getting Spielbergian
on this channel.
I definitely need to check those out for sure. And as far as myself, you can find me over on the Text Trek YouTube channel and podcast. We've been talking a lot of DS9 lately. If you like Deep Space Nine, we've been doing our deep dives into Deep Space Nine. We just finished talking about season 4 of the show. We've been kind of working our way through it. And we're going to take a break from DS9 next week, exclusively to the YouTube channel. We're going to have a live stream talking about Babylon 5 Season 4. We've been talking about the second best space station TV show, and I say that with no disrespect to B5. As much as I love Deep Space Nine, I absolutely also adore Babylon 5. That's my favorite non-Star Trek outer space science fiction TV show. So we're going to talk about that show's fourth season live on Friday as part of the hashtag TQIF lineup. And then in 2 weeks, this is the first time I'm really announcing it publicly. Well, I guess I kind of teased it earlier, but we're hoping to have 2 Deep Space Nine writers on board our show. I've actually talked to Jack Trevino and Tony Marbury. They got the story credits for the Deep Space Nine episodes Indiscretions. That's the one where we meet Gul Dukat's daughter, Tora Ziel, for the first time. And they also came up with a story for Little Green Men. PJ, I'm sure you like that one. That's the Roswell episode of DS9. We're going to be talking about those writers. They're actually based here in Texas in San Antonio, current home of Kit Walski. It's a name I ain't heard in a long time. But yeah, so we're going to have them on our show. We're going to record some content with them and premiere that in 2 weeks as part of the TQF lineup. And then, before we know it, it'll be August 12th. I'm going to be in Vegas, hanging out at Star Trek Las Vegas. And then we're going to have all kinds of like lower decks coverage. And then hopefully Discovery and Prodigy and all the new Star Trek shows onto Picard and Strange New Worlds and all that will all be covered on Tex Trek. But yeah, we got to go. I'm told that Sohel's battery is dying right now as we speak. So we're going to have to end the stream now. He's going to click the end button at any time. So until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.